Warning: the following podcast may contain material not suited for those who are easily offended or under the age of 18. It may contain coarse language, dark humor, and/or offensive humor. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Enjoy the show.
Good evening, folks. This is your old pal, Cube the Third, and welcome to the 8th episode of Otaku Midnight. Sorry it is, absurdly late. Unfortunately, our guest, kind of held us over a little bit, so, yeah. But yeah, I'm Cube the Third. As always, my co-host, Kevin.
My name is Kevin. I'm 23 years old, and I have strong opinions on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Ask him about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So, how about them Power Rangers, fam?
God, I hope that movie is good.
Oh, God, me too. It better be.
It's like, come on. Oh, yeah, apparently, I actually looked it up. Lionsgate announced today that apparently Amy Jo Johnson and Jason David Frank have cameos in the movie, so that's neat.
Oh, yay. Freaking yay. And returning champion, Chibi.
Hello, everybody. This is Chibi UFO, aka Kyle, and I also have strong opinions on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I think the movie actually looks kind of fun, and the White Ranger fucking sucks. I mean, you have all these Rangers with all these cool-ass weapons, and what's the Ranger that everybody loves? The White Ranger with his dumb little fucking knife thing. Not the Black Ranger with the cool bazooka and axe, or the Red Ranger with his little laser gun and sword thing, or, the Yellow Ranger or the Blue Ranger or Pink Ranger. No, you fucking love this dumb little fucking dagger thing that's also a flute that summons the fucking Megazord. Fuck the White Ranger, he sucks.
Careful, that opinion could get you lynched in some circles.
Oh, please, bring it on.
If I had the soundboard on right now, but it's dead.
I have my trans nerd, fucking strength. Bring it on.
Do it!
Just do it!
Do it!
Let's go! Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, it's been a little... Actually, no, it's not actually been a little while. Well, it's been a while since we've recorded an episode with Kevin, so, how's it been? I know it's been a while for you, Kevin, so, what's been going on your end? Other than like Power Rangers.
Yeah, well, if you must know. No. Things have actually been, again, pretty relatively uneventful, due to the fact that the new Full Metal Panic season is coming out in fall, and I just kind of want to get a head start on everyone else. I'm actually doing my Full Metal Panic rewatch now, so that I don't have to worry about catching up later and then being lost when I finally watch it. But doing my Full Metal Panic rewatch, I finished season 1 last week, late last week, and a couple days ago I started Fumofu. Need to get back to that. I'm thinking I might switch over to Second Rate and then go to Fumofu later, because Second Rate is all plot and Fumofu is no plot. So
yeah, I've seen some.
Fumofu was just this really nice little breezy comedy anime.
Oh yeah,
also done by KyoAni. Fun fact.
Muffle.
Well, TSR was also done by KyoAni, and that's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it was. I forgot about that.
And before people start crying, why isn't KyoAni doing more Full Metal Panic?
Kyoto Animation is the reason why is because Kyoto Animation is focusing on more of their original properties.
They're kind of fucking famous now. They don't have to work on stuff like Full Metal Panic, which is kind of sad because I'd like to see a Full Metal Panic done with like modern KyoAni standards.
And that
why
said,
aren't
it's not-
they doing more Haruhi?
Okay, the whole thing
Oh
with
yeah, that's
Haruhi.
what we need more of. More Haruhi for like the 18th billionth time of like the same season, but this
Okay.
time done it this way.
I'm going to be completely honest here. The Haruhi franchise is fucking dead, and we're never getting another season deal with it.
Yeah, like
Unlike Haruhi, Full Metal Panic has actually had material being released in the hiatus between the new season and second raid. We've
Yeah,
had
that-
new manga volumes, we've had new novels, we've had new spin-offs, we've had all this other neat shit. In between, the Full Metal Panic franchise has not been dead at all. It's actually still been very active. The Haruhi franchise, after the movie, we had like one manga which ended last year, and now the franchise is dead in the water. We are not getting more Haruhi. Shut the fuck up.
And
Yeah,
also,
And no,
One
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Haruhi Suzumiya is my favorite anime, and even I have to admit, I have to deal with it. I'm not getting more Haruhi. Tough shit.
we had that one new
Even
season.
Nagaru
and that was
Tani,
about it.
even Nagaru Tanigawa, the creator, the only reason the novel series has quote unquote ended is because he lost interest and just stopped doing it.
Of course.
yeah.
He doesn't even care that his novels don't have an actual conclusion. He's just done with it.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And also, as like one of our friends of the show has said, it's like it's smart that they're done with Haruhi. It's smart that they're done with K-On! I mean, it would be cool if they did the K-On! Chapter, college chapter, but we're not gonna get that.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
But yeah, anyway, I've been doing my Full Metal Panic rewatch, and that's been very, very fun. And another thing with Full Metal Panic is that it's not like the people at the new studio, Zebek, are like completely new and have never done Full Metal Panic. Most of the key creative staff from the previous installments are on the new anime. The person who's writing the scripts for this season is the original creator of the novels, Shoji Gato. So you don't really have to worry about that.
And also, too,
nice.
you got to remember, since like it's mostly like just a multi-studio work, who knows? Maybe KyoAni may do some subcontractor work. Never
Of course,
know.
like-
But
KyoAni's done some subcontracting work for Zebek in the past, if I recall
Oh,
correctly.
yeah, they have. They have.
And the director for this new season did I believe the director for the new season did the Bodacious Space Pirates movie, which I hear is a really good movie. So
Which, speaking of that series in general, like that TV series, Bodacious Space Pirates, damn good watching. That is a seriously great, underrated anime that just, holy crap. Like, it got praised when it was released, but then the hype kind of died down, but that show was still just damn great, and oh my god. Like,
oh yeah,
especially with that type of a title, who expects something like that genuinely great? Like, what a solid little underrated gem.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's another one of those anime that I really need to get my ass around to watching.
Well, whenever you do,
But it's
though,
all- but it's
it'll
all-
be a
but-
nice
but-
experience.
So unlike a lot of other anime, Bodacious Space Pirates seems to be more up my alley, so I might get to that relatively soon.
oh yeah, yeah.
Probably as yet another primer for Full Metal Panic 4. Oh, for the record, Full Metal Panic 4 finally has a subtitle.
Oh,
What is it?
It's called Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory.
okay.
Referred to as such because an Invisible Victory contracts to IV, aka the Roman numeral 4.
Yay!
Wow, that's really clever.
Yay! Oh yeah.
I actually like that. That's neat.
No, totally, it is.
Okay, something that I'm going to announce right here on this show. Don't have a date for this yet, so I don't know when we'll do this, but I know it'll be a long while off because
Oh boy, oh boy.
because we're currently working on like some pre-show stuff for the Orimo Discourse, which is I still don't have a date, but it will be soon. But I'm still kind of working out the details on that. But what I can announce for like as far as like the next few shows, I don't know when we'll do this, but this idea kind of came from Ancast. And what they like to do, like every Christmas, like I don't know if they did this like every Christmas or they just do it.
They've done it for a couple of them.
Yeah, they do this thing called the Yankee Swap, and I'm not sure if it's like, you know, something. I don't know if other podcasts have done it, but you know,
I'm pretty sure they have. This isn't really like Ancast created it. Like, it's a thing I think everyone's done for ages. Just like, while we may have, you know, the same general interests as nerds to certain things like, say, anime or animation or movies or TV shows or video games, we may not like the exact quote-unquote same thing, and our tastes may differ to some various degrees, where the great thing about a Yankee Swap is, you know, having close friends and all, you get to show that friend that certain title or certain thing that you love, and you get them to try it out and just show them why it means so much to you and why you love it and why you think they might like it.
So basically, we're doing a Yankee Swap with me, Cube the Third, Chibi UFO, and Kevin Faulkner. So
Ayo, the three of us.
Although with Chibi, I did bend the rules, and this was because I was so passionate about one show. I'm not going to say what it is on here, but it's a show I'm really passionate about at the current moment. You know,
technically, I assumed you just had a backup show just in case, since, you know, the case of bending the rules. I assumed that you just, you know, pick another show or whatever.
Yeah. So basically, how it works is like we give each other 3 anime, 3 movies. But you know, but you could also bend the rules, like, because for the most part, Chibi is mostly recommending me movies to see, so I don't know what to give him.
Do have some movies in ready. Well, not in ready. Excuse me. I do have some movies in question and sort of primed up for Kevin, but I won't be revealing those until near the date of when we do the Yankee Swap. So
yeah, we basically let's keep it all a surprise.
I actually do have. I do have titles kind of recommended for literally everyone. I have a whole bunch of backup stuff and stuff in general planned for the Yankee Swap. I am super hyped about this.
Yeah, and basically how we're going to do this is.
Sorry, Kyle, but I have no idea what I'm going to be sending you.
Oh, don't worry.
I'll figure something out.
That's kind of the great thing about the Yankee Swap. Even if you kind of don't know what you want to give to the other person, it's just sort of like, it's that sort of a goodie bag sort of notion, or that genuine surprise where it's like, okay, I think I actually want to try sending this person this and see what their reaction is. You know, that's the sort of greatness of a Yankee Swap.
Basically, in absence of like movies, I kind of just gave Kyle like 4 animes. Like, you know, if you know me, you'll know what they are. But but for right now, we'll reveal those like when we get to the show. They're all going to be tight-lipped. We're all going to be tight-lipped on them.
Oh yeah. But, saving it for that episode. Y'all are gonna love it.
Because yeah, I'm really kind of excited to hear what Kyle's opinions are. I do have an idea what I want to give Kevin, and I don't know what they're going to give me. So, but yeah, that should be fun. So
I got an idea of what I'm going to be sending Cube. So yeah,
wicked.
Yeah. God, what was I going to say? Shit.
And just for a heads up to everyone for this particular episode, don't worry too much if, like, while we use the Yankee Swap, some of the ideas might sort of change over time, because that's sort of the fun thing about the Yankee Swap. It can be a mixture of several different things. It could be one movie, one TV show, and one anime recommendation, or it could be something else. It's such a flexible idea. It's such a flexible, you know, design. And
here's a rule we're doing right now: no cramming. Basically, no cramming, because
give yourself the time to kind of really digest something and like kind of flow through you, and just sort of like, you know, if it does it leave an impression on you, you know, give it some time.
Yeah, it's but yeah, it's just it's like, you know, I just said experience it naturally, you know, and so. Yeah, but yeah, with all of that out of the way, okay. Let's talk about, like upcoming movies, since this is kind of a first, before we get to movies, let's talk about some anime. So, Kevin, you still watching Dragon Maid?
I've fallen behind the past 3 weeks, actually, and I'm incredibly embarrassed about that because Dragon Maid is so fucking good.
It really is. It really, really is.
Like, Dragon Maid is such a fun show. Like, that is just the big thing. It's fun. Really fun to watch.
Yeah.
As a matter, lesbian dragons are nice too, but
hell yeah.
Aren't they? Aren't they though? Seriously, aren't they?
I know, right? Isn't it great? It's so great.
Like
everyone is literally gay on that show, except maybe Quetzalcoatl. But.
Like when life really fucking sucks and everything else in the world is fucking terrible. Like, man, lesbian dragons. That's just.
Gay
you
dragons.
know what? Oh God.
Yeah.
Just give me all the gay dragons.
And
I think there is precisely one straight character in that entire show, and that's about it.
Oh, bless them. Bless them all.
Yeah, it's freaking great. Tomorrow gonna be watching the next episode of Maid Dragon over at my friend Saradin's place, and that's where we're going to be taping the review of the Sword Art Online movie, Ordinal Scale. That's going to be really great. Although, here's how we're titling that. Even though this is technically the quote-unquote next episode, that is going to be episode 7.5. So just a heads up. Basically, this is episode 7. That was the SAO Discourse. In episode 7.5, that is the movie review, and episode 8 is this episode. So, just like a little heads up.
Careful, you know what happened the last time we had a Sword Art Online thing called blank point 5.
Oh, you're talking about 16.5? Glop, glop, glop. Glopping.
I remember seeing a funny tweet one time. I forget who said it, but it was something along the lines of Sword Art Online dubstep, where they glop the bass.
Oh, God. For those who loved the previous
That was
SAO,
years ago that I saw that. It's funny as hell.
So for those who loved the previous SAO episode, now you get the double the experience, double the flavor.
Yeah.
You get a double, get that double bit of SAO love. So hope y'all enjoyed that one.
Yeah. Well, basically, do we explain why 16.5 is kind of infamous?
It's.
Why not?
I think people can Google it. Sword Art Online, 16.5. You're welcome, or I'm sorry, depending on your opinion.
Or maybe both.
Basically, there's a badly written sex scene, and basically it involves glopping, and then 2 years worth of semen. Then yeah, there you go.
Badly written sex scene in Sword Art Online? Get out of here.
I still love that one thing Saradin said, that I forget exactly what it was, but like Reki Kawahara is good at writing two things, and one of them is rape scenes.
Virtual worlds and rape.
Oh man.
I mean, he's not wrong.
At least he can admit that. As much as he's like, a flaming fanboy for that show, at least he can admit that. So,
Of course.
But
I think that's when you're.
I mean, flaming
like,
fanboy's a little bit.
Honestly, if you're a fan of any anime, you kind of got to have a little bit of self-awareness.
Well, no, that's the thing. I think the point of being a healthy fan is when you can point out something like that and like not only still enjoy but know that it is a fault and live with it.
Yeah, like
I think that's the sort of like you are a true healthy fan. Like you are a healthy fan who knows when to who understands the faults, understands the down points and the criticisms, and sort of just like I understand these and I can live with them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Let's see. What else was I going to say?
Take your time. We're in no hurry.
I need to get back on Gabriel Dropout, and I want to start watching Tanya the Evil because.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised you haven't done that yet because I know you've been really eager to check it out.
Yeah, because Tanya the Evil. The reason why I want to check it out is I kind of came up with an AMV idea that I don't really want to say on here. But if you know me personally, you'll probably might figure it out. But
Basically, you got some ideas.
but yeah, I haven't really been watching too much from this season. But yeah, there's been a lot of
I've
great
been kind of
stuff.
fallen. I've kind of fallen into that sort of section this season. I haven't really been watching much, but the stuff I have been watching, yeah, I know that feeling.
But hey, on the plus side, when I do finally catch up on all this anime, I'm gonna have like friggin' 3-4 hours of anime just to sit back and watch with my sister. So that's gonna be amazing.
Totally.
Yeah,
That's kind
Just
of the
enjoy
glory.
everything in one go. What?
That's kind of the amazing glory of that sort of thing with the anime catch up is when you really get to experience something like full on, and you just have this gigantic handful of it, and you're really understanding what is making this such a huge title for this season.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm particular. Ugh, oh God.
Well,
My
Okay.
throat did a thing. It's just nope. That's not happening. The
Don't
one
think
thing I'm
so.
really looking forward to catching up on is actually Dragon Ball Super because we're in like the preliminaries for the
can you
universe
believe
survival arc.
we
and
finally got that legally streaming over here? God, that only took like
It's
several years.
yeah, that was
Holy
bullshit. Thanks,
shit.
Toei.
something
boy,
like
good lord.
friggin' 16, 18 months or something. God.
One of the most popular anime of all time, like cross the world, not cross the country, cross the earth, cross the world. Like Toei is practically the McDonald's of the Japanese anime industry.
They
one of the
kind of
most-
are.
Like one of the most popular anime ever. And they sit on it for that long. Like, holy shit, you guys. Come on. I thought you'd be better than
Yeah,
this.
unfortunately, with Toei, they're a little bit too occupied with. We got to get TV broadcasting rights. We got to make package deals and whatever. It's part of the reason why we don't have Precure over here in a decent form.
Yeah, that is the one thing that I think we can all
Dear
agree.
Toei, stop doing that fuck shit, please.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on one thing. It sucks to be a fan of these following franchises, both game and anime. A Goemon fan, a Mother fan, a Precure fan,
thanks.
an
Thanks.
ICOTS fan,
Let me just,
and a Prepar
I
fan.
see that you wanted to make sure you get those 2 knives into my heart. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, although
Sorry, Kyle.
And I like how you switched it up with Goemon. Like, oh, cool, thanks. I needed a reminder that, Konami threw a fucking sword up my heart and fucking just murdered me in cold blood.
Forgot one more that would have been a stake in my heart. Fucking Mega Man.
oh yeah, Mega Man, yeah.
Sorry, viewers, I apologize. Just any sound of Mega Man at all, and I just lose my shit. And God. Yes, pretty much. That me IRL is that, and me in a sobbing mess of when will I get my Mega Man? And I miss you, Mega Man, and I need you, and you are my lifeblood, and you save me. Oh my God.
Kyle, you and I could grieve over the Mega Man franchise for hours on end. I swear to God.
Well, pretty much be a sobbing mess at that point.
Okay, we can all but at least we can say this. At least the Bomberman fans are getting something on the Switch.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
I
We
guess.
just have a legit, straight up Bomberman game. Like, oh hey, that existed, I guess, huh?
We
Holy
were
shit!
actually supposed to get a 3DS Bomberman game. Like that was announced at I believe the launch of the system, but that just kind of got canceled, and no one kind of knows what happened.
During the Konami buyout of Hudson, and it's weird that they were so dramatically just canceling stuff because I assumed they would just go for oh well, we're gonna rework this under our brand, and no, they just were no, canceled. Oh, cool, okay, you could have just reworked it, but no, all right, just go for full cancellation.
And apparently, Super Bomberman R sold pretty well because apparently it has the best sales the franchise has seen in over 20 years.
That is
that's nice.
That gives me hope. It's moments like that just give me hope. You know what?
Oh, yeah.
Things aren't all bad. I say that, but honestly, especially for now, January, this has been one of the greatest Januaries I've seen in gaming since, I don't know, the release of Resident Evil 4. We have so many great game releases in January and February. Wow, holy crap, this is phenomenal.
But to kind of to move on just a little bit.
Oh, of course.
I want to talk about some movie things that kind of popped up in my head that was kind of that popped up recently.
Mhm.
Apparently, Ridley Scott after Alien 5 has said there's going to be more Alien movies, and I'm just like, do we need them?
I'm surprised he's doing this now. I would have thought the guy would have just sort of attempted to wash his hands of the whole thing, unless he's really having genuine ideas of what to do next. Which, like, I don't know. I saw the trailer for that new Alien movie, and
Oh yeah, I'm definitely seeing that shit.
it's funny you say that because, like, I'm sorry, it really didn't do anything for me. Like, I've seen this take on Alien before, and it's just like, Ridley Scott, I have a slight hope in me that you want to do something interesting with this, but, like, man, that trailer did not convince me. I feel like the only thing I've ever been convinced with Ridley Scott is not to copy off my good friend Tim Mon, but going off of his theory that, like, yeah, Hollywood kind of fucking killed him in his dreams after, the massive failure of Blade Runner. It was just like, yeah, no, sorry, we're gonna have to kill your passion and your dreams. We know that Blade Runner was your everything, and yeah, no, it didn't do so well, and we're not gonna allow you to have, any sort of actual momentum in whatever you do. So yeah, and then Ridley Scott was like, all right, well then, fuck it, I'll still do movies, but I won't give a shit about them.
Yeah, that's really a shame because it's like, here's the thing. The Martian was really good. That was from Ridley Scott.
Which is what really stunned me, because, like, just about every Ridley Scott movie post Blade Runner, it's always seemed a little lifeless and a little, like, whenever it gets award buzz, it's just like, oh yes, yeah, I was so happy to make this movie and get the awards, and where, like, The Martian felt like a nice, solid little comedic sci-fi flick, like something like it seemed like he was really trying to put some effort into it. Though, to anyone who might come at me for these comments, for the record, I'm a unapologetic lover of Thelma and Louise, because good lord, Thelma and Louise.
And also, this is full disclosure. I performed the soundtrack back in 8th grade, but I do have a soft spot for Gladiator, and which brings me to the next point. Apparently, he wants to do a Gladiator 2. That's just a rumor. And basically, here's me. If you've seen that movie, this is basically me. Okay, but why though? Seriously.
I mean, like, I don't think you can reclaim the early 2000s the way you did back then. Like, yeah, Gladiator fucking dominated in the early 2000s. It got its awards. It really took all house. But, that was the early 2000s. I don't think you can repeat that era again.
Yeah.
The Wachowski sisters technically tried to do that with some of the later Matrix sequels, and they learned their lesson of, like, yeah, okay, I think we are actually done with this. We're gonna go try to actually move on with our own shtick, which they have, and while their, current movies haven't been the biggest, mega hit blockbusters, they're still competent, solid, weird, different movies in their own way, and they're all, in my opinion, very, good watches and are worth your time.
And Speed Racer kicks ass.
Jupiter Ascending.
Speed Racer and Jupiter Ascending are both...
That is great.
Holy shit, man. Those movies are phenomenal. And for the record, as controversial as Cloud Atlas, that is an
I need to see Cloud Atlas. I've been hearing that's good.
I want to make sure I put extra emphasis in this. Extremely ambitious. One of the most ambitious things I've seen in modern movies. Just modern cinema. Just something that tasking for, like, what these characters are supposed to be and how these actors are supposed to play them. Like, holy crap, what an ambitious piece of modern cinema. I think when people cry for originality in Hollywood, even with, once again, how controversial it is, I feel like that's the stuff they're crying for. That stuff they want is just something that daring, something that's that original and unique.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Most def.
And, even when they do get hate, I'm always, I'm always down to defend the Wachowski sisters because, Jupiter Ascending, holy god. Other than Speed Racer, probably one of the greatest anime movies to ever exist ever, because, Channing Tatum's character in that movie is the most anime as fuck character in modern, movies. He's so anime, it's ridiculous.
What's going on?
I think Kevin's kind of reacting to my comments, but Channing Tatum's character in Jupiter Ascending is, one of the most anime characters of all fucking time. I'm surprised there isn't a scene of, Mila Kunis being all "Oh, Tatum-kun, you're so dreamy," and he's all rocking his pecs and has anime hair glistening in the wind or some shit.
Speaking of movies, there's actually just one before we get into the movie that we're here for. I saw Logan.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, what's your thoughts? Because I've been thinking about that one.
I can't wait to say my piece.
Even though I have not seen Days of Future Past or Apocalypse, Logan might very well be the best X-Men movie thus far.
I can't argue with that. I actually would agree with it.
It is such a really damn good movie. This is a movie that I think really could not have possibly been done at all with a lower rating other than an R, because this movie is very downtrodden. It's very somber. It's kind of like a Western film. I got a bit of a Clint Eastwood vibe.
Definitely.
I got a very much Clint Eastwood vibe from the movie.
A lot of the movie, its setting and how it was directed was very much based off of Westerns.
Hell, it even references Shane.
Yep.
It straight up references Shane at one point.
Oh, it does. It has no apologies about it. It straight up references Shane.
Hey, it's 10 out of 10, though.
Yeah, definitely.
And I really love that it just focuses on these three characters, specifically Logan, Xavier, and this new girl, X-23. I forget her name. Laura, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just these three characters trying to escape from whatever the hell, and at the same time kind of growing together. It is technically speaking a road trip film, but it's actually a much smaller movie than other X-Men movies, because when you watch other X-Men movies, it's apocalypse and the end of the world and lasers and all this
pew pew pew
pew pew pew. Yeah, a lot of that shit.
Core.
But no, here it's very understated. This is a dirty film. Everybody's getting bruised and scratched and bloodied up, and man,
and
it's actually very satisfying to finally see Wolverine's claws do what they're fucking supposed to.
And it's also sort of understated that a lot of those previous X-Men movies that it's sort of the idea of the end of the world and the end of mutant kind and the end of end of time and end of days. Technically, Logan happens after the end of days, the end of time for mutants, and it's a very tragic and sad and just.
Oh yeah, it just got me right in the heart. This movie got me right in the heart a lot of times.
Post-morning as fuck type of a movie. This is so somber. This is so dirt. Spoonfuls of dirt. To you.
But it's just really, really well done movie, and it's actually a very good standalone piece. It does a really good job of explaining what you need to know to understand the movie. It stands alone extremely well, so you don't even have to have very much information on the X-Men franchise. If you've seen the first two movies, you'll probably be fine just jumping right into here.
Oh, definitely. They really don't reference at all the previous accounts of any of the other movies. It is really just Logan going day by day.
Honestly, if the Academy weren't a bunch of fuckos, then Logan probably would get nominated for Best Picture.
You say that, but I don't know. This year for Oscars, not bad.
Academy Award winner Suicide Squad. Okay.
Oh.
You also say that too, but I feel like people seem to selectively forget that, like, lots of other legitimately pieces of fucking shit have actually won Oscars for the dumbest reasons. I mean,
Wasn't Transformers Revenge of the Fallen nominated for like sound editing and sound mixing or something?
those terrible Alvin and the Chipmunks live action movies, they've gotten Oscar nominations for their musical compositions because goddamn Mark Mothersbaugh. I'm sorry that for such a competent and good composer of our times is working on garbage like that.
Yeah, well, at least Mark Mothersbaugh actually worked on a regular show for at least the first and second season.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, the guy's done so many cartoons at this point too that like he will try to go for that. But yeah, though, like
it dude was originally
other...
a Devo, so of course he would do that one for
course.
regular show since he's like since regular show is like a huge ass 80s and 90s reference is all over the place.
And if you want to go for even more further back of like actual legitimate fucking trash getting Oscar nominations, let's not, forget that one of the worst movies of the 1980s, The Jazz Singer, the terrible, terrible, terrible 80s remake of one of the first talkie pictures of The Jazz Singer, one of the very first talkies ever, that remake of the 1980s version with fucking Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
That got tons of Oscar nominations, even though it was a critical bomb. And yeah, it is one of the worst 80s movies, like legit worst 80s movies ever. Like, there's stuff that people can bring up, like, oh, what about this big, famous, horrible thing? Like, yeah, but, like, I'm talking actual legitimately terrible, not even fun to watch. Like, it's horrible. The acting is legitimately awful. It's not entertaining. It's boring, it's painful, it's insulting, like insufferable garbage. And yeah, that movie it got quite a few award nominations.
And not for the Razzies.
Nope, straight up Oscars.
Yeah,
very specific there. It's not Razzies, it's Oscars. It's the real shit.
Of course.
We're talking the real...
Logan was an absolutely phenomenal movie. I love that movie
so
much.
Okay, I want to ask this. How many kids were in the theater?
There was one kid, but he seemed to be taking it pretty well. He was actually quiet throughout the whole... aside from like the first few minutes, he was quiet throughout the whole movie. Very well behaved. If anything, it was actually his parent that was actually having problems. Because this is one of the most disrespectful... theater going experiences I've had, because there were multiple points in this dark, downtrodden, somber Western drama film where the audience was just busting up laughing for no goddamn reason.
No, that's great.
Oh, I've had those a few times.
There was just certain things happening on screen that they just kind of started giggling at. Like this isn't a spoiler. Near the end of the film, some mutant kids are being chased by the bad guys and whatever. And one of the mutant kids is a small African American child who is rather heavy set.
I know what you're talking about.
And he starts running, and he's running away from them, and the camera starts focusing on him running for his life from this one person that's about to fucking kill him or whatever. And the audience is yucking it up like, "Haha, run, fat boy, run!" And I'm like, really?
Jesus.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's funny
Are you
because
people
these children were tortured and treated like fucking garbage by the
The
government.
children in the audience were being more adult than the adults.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, how old did the kid look? Did he look like at least 10 or something like that?
No, probably around 6 to 8. But again,
Shit! Wow.
Wow.
Actually, the kid actually watched the movie pretty okay. Like, I was very surprised to see the kid just very quiet and focused on the film the entire time. It's like, that was very admirable.
Okay, RoboCop. Okay, I've seen like RoboCop when I was like 5 or 6. Then okay.
Oh God.
But then again, that movie was kind of more fun to watch. And also,
man, the most funnest part is when that guy crashes into that giant vat of acid and fucking melts on.
Oh my God! And
then the family fun for everyone.
Him.
Yep. And as he's literally screaming to death, I'm melting, and you see
Help
it.
me, help me.
Yep.
And also, you're talking to the same person who had Cinderella on the same tape as The Shining.
Oh, holy shit.
There you. Happy childhood, everybody. Happy childhood.
Yes, just in case you just wash down your nice, friendly princess movie with crazy Jack Nicholson.
And this tale of an abusive father and the horrible, horrible, crazy awakening he's about to receive with this family.
And also, after The Shining after The Shining, there's Chinatown.
Good lord!
I have not.
I did not watch that one. So
Wow.
I've not
Okay,
seen
let's
that,
just
actually.
let's just go for Chinatown after that. Like Jesus. Okay.
It's still
I
amazing
still
to go
don't
from
understand
frickin' Cinderella to The Shining.
Cinderella, The
Wow.
Shining, and Roman Polanski's Chinatown.
Reminds me of the time I actually had Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie on the same tape as Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex Solid State Society.
Huh. That's a bit of an odd mix.
It really is.
Well,
and also
at
an
least,
episode of One Piece.
and well, at least the nice thing is in the case of your connection, Andrew. At least it was one of the more slightly tamer Roman Polanski movies. Like, be glad you didn't get like Rosemary's Baby or something. But
I
yeah, that's
still
the-
need to see
that's-
that.
That's the one thing you want to see as a 5-year-old is, oh god, hey, it's that sequence where they're doing those creepy satanistic dances to make sure her baby, the baby impregnated in her is the devil. Which, like, every 5-year-old should be watching that, not be
Dun, dun, dun.
terrified out their mind.
But yeah. So I guess with all of that out of the way, we're gonna take a short break. We'll be right back. Okay. Okay, and we're on break.
Okay.
Yay.
All right. Let me just get some water and we'll start the second segment.
Good idea.
Yeah, let me get up and stretch for a minute.
Good idea. Ah. Oh, fuck me.
I'm back. I drank some water, ate some spaghetti. I'm good.
Welcome back. Just waiting for Andrew to get back, and we should be all good to go. There we go. Okay.
Hold up a sec. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, is Kevin here with us?
He just said he'll be right back.
Oh, okay. So what were y'all discussing while I was away?
Nothing really, just kind of random chitter chatter.
Okay.
I can't wait till it comes back because I'll say my little quick pieces on a couple of movies that I've seen, and then I guess we can move on ahead.
Yeah.
And stuff that I'm also looking forward to because 2017 so far doesn't really look that interesting for movies for me, but there is a couple of movies that I'm like, oh hey, that's actually coming out soon, and I'm really
All right, I'm back.
I forgot to kind of let you go as far as Logan. I'm sorry. Whoops.
Good job.
If I had the soundboard working, I would just play the fail horn.
Good. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
What happened?
Nothing.
The tablet is dead right now, and it's just
No.
I forgot
Dead?
to chart.
Dead, or like just not charged?
No. It's like what did you do? It's like letting him go. Logan, what?
Oh, it's me.
I didn't let him go as far as like what was his thoughts and what was his hot take on the movie.
On just thoughts in general, Logan and such. My thoughts will be pretty decently brief. It's just like with that in my sort of movies I'm mostly looking forward to with 2017.
Like, are we back on now or what?
No. Do not worry.
I'm ready to go.
We would wait for you first before we'd ever do that.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's all,
yeah.
just
I mean, I'm the
throw you back.
co-host. Like, you better not.
I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Hey, welcome back. Look who just got back in. Oh fuck, what? This is what we think of you. Just like if we were all together IRL, we'd just put like a dunce cap on you, like, oh fuck you, you're barely a co-host.
Okay, so are you back and are you ready?
I'm pretty much ready.
What about you, Kev?
I'm ready, Freddy.
Woo!
Alright.
It's Larry.
Alright, let me just push record.
Getting all jazzed up.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Otaku Midnight. Before we get to Get Out, I kind of forgot to let Chibi go on certain topics, but there was something that kind of came to my head while I was kind of thinking about it. And this is a game that only Chibi and I would know, but Chibi, you remember the game Shadowland or Yokai Dokuchi?
Yep.
I was thinking about that game recently because I was listening to the soundtrack of it because a lot of people are saying the first stage song kind of sounds like YMO, which wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah, because Japan has a boner for YMO, so.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of game composers have a very much an attraction to YMO too.
Yeah, and Ryuichi Sakamoto in general, but one of the things that what always got to me about that game. This is a game from 1987 where I'm not sure if this was the first game to have like multiple endings or something like that, but hold up, yeah, it's recording. Never mind. It was like one of the first. I'm not sure this was the first game to have like multiple endings, but I love how still to this day the most fucked up thing about it is that one of the endings is like you're in hell.
Yep.
Basically,
you're a little kid who's straight up in hell. Yeah,
you're in hell, or you're in the monster world, or another ending is you go to heaven and you're just a pig in shit, dining with all the bitches you can do.
Yep. Video games. There you go.
Just
That's the
goals.
end. Haha.
hashtag goals. Yeah. I would just take a screen cap of that at that ending and just go hashtag goals. But one of the things that kind of gets to me about it, even though Undertale kind of talked about player empathy and don't kill anything, the game basically, in a sense, now granted you still play the game like any other game in 1987 until the last stage. Now, because I was recently kind of like looking up a strategy guide for like this thing, because I was like thinking about maybe I'll see if I can try to like at least beat it on the best ending. But I learned how you do it. Basically, you gotta play the game normally until the last stage. The last stage, you gotta play it either pacifist, normally, or if you play it normally, you go to hell.
Mm-hmm.
If you play it without collecting anything or killing anything, you go to heaven. Basically, I kind of think of that as, so this is basically the pacifist route. So basically, I kind of made a joke, and I don't think this, so don't jump on me. But Toby Fox ripped off Namco.
Just a heads up, he actually does think this, so please get on him. Man, who said that? Not me. Must have been some hacker into the call, that fucking bastard.
Thanks, Chibi.
How dare he?
But,
I know how you're thinking. I didn't say anything. Cough, cough.
But yeah, it's just something I kind of wanted to bring up with you, since, you're a big Namco dude, and I'm,
Oh, yes. And of course,
Namco outside of Pac-Man. And
of course. Namco in general. And of course, as we say this, while this is a little less of slightly more older news that happened, I think, back in early February, but R.I.P. to, I guess, one of the grandfathers of video games, Masaya Nakamura. Thank you so much for the company you created. You've created, millions and millions and millions of memories for so many people, and countless just positive vibes for so many people that I don't know if he'll, maybe he's passed away, but I don't think maybe if he ever realized how many just positive things he created for so many people and so many generations of people from just the company he started. So, I know, as of course, to what we do as our hobby, upsides as gamers, we do this or we do that, or some of us do this or some of us do that, but I think grieving for important people, while it is a thing that everyone generally does, I'm at least happy I saw people understanding who he was and how important he was and grieving for him without, being shitty about it, and just, sharing together our
he's just a celebrity. Sorry.
our memories of an important person and the important company he made. And while I understand that everyone who saw this and who did correct it, they kind of had that, they just had to do it. I appreciate that no one else really exploded over the misconception of Masaya Nakamura that he didn't create Pac-Man. Technically, that was
Toru Iwatani.
Thank you. It was Toru something, and I blanked out for some, look at me, I'm a fucking idiot. Toru Iwatani, and some people did correct it. I appreciate that no one really exploded over that, because now's, that time is not the time to explode. That time is to be together with people and share the happy memories and just be positive in a time where I think everyone just kind of needs that. To just grieve together and, go over the positives of something like that. So, rest in peace, good sir. Thank you for everything you created. But, sorry, just as a gamer and a person of, a fan of many retro things and retro video games, I just had to say that little piece. Thank you. Thank you for everything you did and have done.
Yeah, sorry to get on that tangent. That was just on my mind. So
no, that's understandable. I can understand that. I'm not surprised that a a game like that would inspire something like Undertale. Because, yeah, Undertale, it's, I think Toby Fox, for his inspirations, he wore a lot of it on his sleeves, and I think all of them are very noticeable, whether they be the obvious takes of something like Earthbound, or, certain RPGs, or, the dialogue,
like
and sharply
Mother and
written.
Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Especially something like Mother. Like, that dialogue is so sharp and witty and clever, like Earthbound, and that is what really, I think, won fans over with Earthbound, is that sharp and clever writing.
But yeah, that was just, but anyway, Kyle, let's hear your thoughts on Logan.
Well, Logan, and also, not to be a negative Nancy, I didn't actually get too much of an introduction on the case of what I've been doing, but in general, for the case of movies, yes, Logan. I was interested in already just seeing it, just from some of the later trailers I was able to see. My first trailer I saw of it, I actually wasn't too impressed because I was a little nervous they might go overboard with the mood and setting, and I didn't know if they would actually be fair with making a competent movie. But the more I saw of it, the more I was like, actually, I'm kind of digging this. I think it could end up being a solid movie, and a solid superhero movie, and just a solid movie in general. And the closer it came, the more I was excited I was, to the point of when I finally saw it, I was so blown away and so impressed that, I think we finally did it on actually making a competent, mature superhero movie. I think everyone's been waiting for that type of movie to bring on that maturity, and I think that movie was the shot in the arm that genre needed. I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone thinks this movie will do it, that movie will do it. No, Logan was that movie, and it needed that genre in general needed it, and I think modern movies in general kind of needed that. The actual competent, mature take. Like,
Hey,
here's
Chibi,
another thing.
can I say
though.
something?
Go ahead.
sure.
Like it or lump it, you do have to thank Deadpool for kind of paving this.
Kind of, but kind of.
At least in the modern, at least now in the year
to a degree.
2010s.
To a degree, yes. To a
Here-
degree.
Here's another thing. Even though there have been other R-rated movies and like movies intended, like comic book movies intended for an older audience, quote unquote, a lot of them are still, your regular popcorn fluff movies.
Kind of locked in little niches that sort of stop them from becoming too mainstream, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, and I think Logan does a really good job of sort of breaking that trend.
Mm-hmm. Where other R-rated movies that did have some types of popularity, or did do on the box offices, or the ones that just have their cult followings, like say your The Crows, or your Tank Girls, or your Blades, which all of those movies are fine by their own right. I am a very unapologetic, massive fan of Tank Girl, and if anybody wants to get on me for that, go ahead and fucking fight me. I love that movie. It is this perfect slice of 90s filmmaking in every crazy way possible.
Catch me outside.
Oh, bring it.
But okay, yeah.
But Logan in general, this was the nice, mature, competent, actual, no bullshitting, no shoving swaying its dick around everyone else saying, see, we're so mature. No, this is the competent piece of mature filmmaking that we've needed for not only the superhero genre, but movies like this. Movies that take on the approach of comic books. It's rare when we can get movies like this, or A History of Violence, to take on the whole concept of being adapted from a quote-unquote graphic novel or a comic book, and actually do it this competently and maturely without having to be some big bragging contest. And I can't thank Logan enough for being that, and still just being in general, a good movie.
I think I can agree with that, yeah.
And, if there's I can't think of any other way to send off, the amazing talents of Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart, as these timeless characters. I can't think of a better way to send them off. Even if it might be somber and, a little sad, and just, the movie's setting of being in an unfortunate future of actual, not an actual, a slice of human beings just being gone from Earth. If there is, I can't think of a better way to have those, great actors, really end those characters appropriately and end them in a nice, just a nice dignified way. Because holy shit, those two give A+ thumbs up performances, and I just can't praise this enough. That kid actress for X-23, holy shit, her acting was phenomenal. Some of the best.
God.
Some of the best kid acting I've seen in modern Hollywood, not even Hollywood, modern movies. Some of the best kid acting I've seen in a long ass time. I think so much more praise needs to go to her. She is phenomenal.
I think she's going to be I think she's probably going to be someone to kind of like keep an eye out for in future movies, because like I get the feeling she'll be getting a lot more business propositions from Logan.
Oh, definitely. I hope so. For an actress that young to have such a powerful emotional range, and just her body acting alone, like in her movements.
Oh my God, yes.
That is outstanding.
God.
I understand some people do use the term of being born with it. I think I think on most occasions that's actually kind of bullshit.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
I think God damn it. Oh, God.
Maybe she's born with it. I'm sorry.
I'm your Venus. I am your fire. I am your desire. Look what you make me do, you bastard. Okay? Okay? Is that you wanted? Happy?
Maybe what you said, maybe she's born with it.
Well, yeah. But
okay, go on.
Honesty,
walk right into it.
I think for her, I think she was born with that pure, raw acting talents. Very few are born with, but holy shit, I hope the best for her career, because she was phenomenal. Logan, I can't say it enough, how much of a damn solid movie. I think this might even maybe make into my top 5 of the year, because, wow, yeah, that was a shockingly competent movie. It did so many things right, and I'm just still blown away by how it managed to do everything perfectly. Thumbs. Even if you've never seen an X-Men movie, go see this movie. You don't have to worry. Just go see it. It's fantastic.
All right.
And as someone who has seen a few of the previous X-Men movies, while the first 3 of the early 2000s, I think, unfortunately, have not actually aged well. They're still solid. They're still decent, but I don't think they've actually aged well technically or script-wise. First Class and Days of the Future Past are both excellent. Apocalypse is okay. I don't think it deserves most of the hate it gets, but it's also not that great of a movie in general. It's alright. I think it's worth a watch just to kind of see how it kind of plays itself out. The performances are mostly competent, but it's a bit of a misstep for how good those first 2 movies are.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so today and for tonight on Otaku Midnight, we're going to be talking about Jordan Peele's Get Out. So,
well, if you really feel that way.
Yeah. Talk about a home run of the early year. Like, this only came out in February, and it still managed to be this phenomenal grand slam of a movie, of a horror
seriously,
movie.
Though. Here's the thing. When I saw the advertisement for Get Out, here's the thing. The previous movie season, we had the Bye Bye Man.
Oh.
which had the same sort of aggressive horror movie marketing that Get Out has, and I just kind of looked at it and saw, oh, it's another one of those horror movies that they're trying really hard to cover up for the fact that it sucks and they're trying to get butts in seats. And no, it turns out they're just really that damn proud of the movie because
definitely.
it ended up getting like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm like, Jesus shit.
For me, I was stunned at just like I saw trailers for it months and months and months ago where
Me too.
I saw who was behind it where I'm like, hold on. Jordan Peele of Key and Peele.
Yeah.
Jordan Peele doing a horror movie? Like I don't. This could be the actual worst movie ever in the history of movies. I would still fucking see it because it's Jordan Peele doing a horror movie. Like that, you just have to experience that. And
Yeah.
I just like I had to. I needed to. Like Jordan Peele directing a horror movie, like one of the like greats of modern new actors and new artists, like just doing a horror movie. That's
And
like,
comedy.
oh god, yes, very much yes.
Like comedy and satire, yeah.
That's like, oh god.
And I mean actual satire, not Family Guy's sad excuse for satire.
Ew.
Don't you go there.
Yes, let us never bring up Family Guy ever again. That's like, oh god, like considering how actually good the past couple of years have been for horror. What was the phenomenal masterworks of The Babadook, It Follows,
Yeah.
The Witch. You know, just time after time of time.
And also,
Just amazing horror movies.
I'm sorry,
Can
you
I-
brought
can
up. Hold on. You brought up Babadook, and the only thing I can remember is a Tumblr post where someone found Babadook in Netflix's list of LGBT friendly movies, and someone commented, and someone commented that the B in LGBT stands for Babadook.
Yes, that's the secret we've never wanted to share because it's so dark and deep within the souls of
Oh no, I've been found out.
the Babadook Duke.
So,
Yeah.
Cuba, what's up?
You've reached him,
And to
unfortunately.
add to like list of great horror movies, I want to say this: horror is coming back. Horror is coming
It is.
back.
Horror coming back. It's been back. Like, man, what a way to return.
Oh yeah, I know it's coming. I know it's been back, but yeah, I think we're officially back because
I think
and
the big
also-
thing to take out of all of this is that, like, with all the modern horror movies, one of the good ones has actually been the sequel to Ouija.
Yeah, if you can believe it, that's another one that's holy crap, another
Ouija?
actually great a horror movie. Wow, and a sequel nonetheless of it, like a sequel to a terrible movie, created an actually great atmospheric, fucking creepy horror movie.
I also want to bring up like 3 horror movies that Krampus and Lights
Oh, God,
Out
Krampus.
and
Krampus is even better because it's such a nice little homage to several different types of movies, and it actually manages to do all of those homages well.
also Sinister. Yeah, the first Sinister.
Oh, Sinister. That's another like modern, solid, genuinely good horror movie.
Oh yeah, that was really good. Yeah, it was quite something. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, for the viewers out there, do you want to know what all those movies have in common other than all being horror movies? You want to know what the thing in common is? Compassionate, interesting, well-written characters. You see out there
What a fucking concept!
you see hack writers out there. Just because you're making a horror movie doesn't mean you have to instantly go to stupid stereotypes and obnoxious characters. There's a way to write characters that are flawed and still make them likable and interesting.
Yeah, you don't have to do the friggin' douchebag white dudes like, oh, dork, gets killed in the first 10 minutes.
If we point out that we act like horror movie characters in other horror movies, then it's okay that our writing is so hack and fucking garbage. Ugh.
I get your frustration here, Kyle, because that is one of the reasons why I stay away from horror movies a lot lately. Because I'm just used to that being the
Yeah.
norm.
I can understand that, but for me, for every shit thing I've almost seen, I constantly think of all the other like masterpieces of modern horror that I've seen.
Oh,
That
of
like,
course.
wow, holy crap! I can't think of another genre right now that's constantly kept my hopes up and has actually kept them up for a legitimate reason of just solid good movies.
Yeah, and Get Out is easily in the top, like easily one of the top ranking modern horror films. At
Oh,
least in the
yeah,
past
without a
few years.
doubt.
I am legitimately shocked at how much it commentates on and how many different types of horror it goes for and how much it succeeds in all of it. I
Absolutely. Oh,
came in already hyped just because, once again, Jordan Peele, one of the best, new comedic minds and just artists in general, doing a horror movie. I just had to see it, but like, I came in expecting like, is this gonna take on levels of social commentary on race and horror in the style of such earlier classics like The Candyman or Ganja and Hess, or will this take on society and such movies such as, say, Nightbreed or, or The Hellbound Heart, which, for those who really know the horror, that is what Hellraiser is based off of.
yeah.
Will this take on that approach to society, or is this going to take on more about society in general, or is this about a certain amount of people? So I just
I believe our friend here wants to say something.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I just had to make these comments.
And also to bring up like one movie in particular, Tales from the Hood. I mean, I know.
Oh, well, yeah.
Specifically, the scene, like the dolls, like the little.
Oh yeah, the little dolls that
the doll segment, specifically the dolls segment, where this brings up where those racist where it was a douchey white guy.
The David Duke-like character.
Yeah, that guy.
Totally not David Duke, you guys, but totally it fucking is David Duke. But no, yeah. But it's funny you bring up Tales from the Hood. I could understand that, and also the ride-along segment of the young cop in training, the black cop who witnesses a lot of fucked up racist crimes in the inner workings of the police force, and the killed black politician. Not politician, activist who was murdered by said cops coming back from the dead. Like, that's what also made me think of Get Out too, was that segment. But no, Get Out and just its many levels of social commentary and race commentary and just how much it gets everything right and how just phenomenal it was. Oh
yeah.
my god.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do a spoiler-free thoughts, and then we're going to go into spoiler segments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Insofar as my spoiler-free thoughts on Get Out, something that I really liked about this movie was how generally very understated and mellow it was. Like, a lot of horror movies tend to go for a more aggressive, in-your-face style to them.
Or crank up the exaggeration.
And
Yes.
also foreshadowing.
Yeah. But Get Out went for a completely different approach. It's a very low energy movie for the most part, and that's mostly just to keep the tension up.
Oh,
Because
yes.
it keeps the tension up in the viewer, because it just everything about this movie just feels off, very unsettling. And it just kind of feels like something wrong is going to happen at any given moment. And when it doesn't, you're just like, okay, but like something's going to happen soon, right? Because this isn't okay. This isn't okay.
People don't talk normally. Everybody just has these weird faces.
Just really
Everything
off
just
of it.
doesn't seem to everything just seems to be off kilter.
And certain aspects seem like a little too picturesque, a little bit. Like
Yeah.
how certain people refer to like just certain elements. It's hard to talk about this movie without spoiling the shit out of it.
Of course,
To be completely
yeah.
honest. Because like
yeah, that's the thing.
everything in this movie just builds up to the end of it, really.
Mm.
And we'll get to that in a minute, but
Building up into ways that you probably did not think would build up.
yeah,
to.
I love how this movie, even though it does have some laughs in it, like a couple of funny moments, like
oh yeah,
like the security guard character. I forget his name, but the security guard character is pretty
Rod.
funny.
Rod. Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is hilarious because Rod is another, not a spoiler, but like the naming of Rod is actually extremely significant to not only the plot, but just what his character is and what his character means. Like, that's actually another really fucking clever sort of bit of wordplay, which, damn, Jordan Peele. I didn't even think...
You'll have to explain that to me.
Oh, sure, no problem.
Because I'm a dumbass.
You're not worried about it.
I was just watching the movie like just straight when I was there, but
Yeah,
that's something I really like about this movie. And I love how little music there is in this movie.
Oh, definitely.
Again, that's another thing with a lot of horror movies. They tend to really amp up like the scare chords and the rising violins and stuff like that. But this movie focuses a lot on just having silence and ambiance.
Mm-hmm.
And that alone is like 10 times more creepy than any sort of musical cue you could give these scenes.
And there's a one. I'll save that bit of music for the spoiler section because
Yeah.
But
excellent command of atmosphere with this movie. That's the phrase I was looking for. It's a command of atmosphere that this movie has that I just loved about it. Like, God, just so engrossing in general. 10 out of 10 work there, Jordan Peele. Like, you know how to get a good atmosphere down with this movie. Like that's just one thing that just really stood out to me as like the overall style of the film. And I just wanted to kind of bring that up because, wow, it's so damn good.
okay, let's bring it over to Lei Chibi.
Okay, for my non-spoiler version, I think what's so mind-blowingly great about Get Out is how much of all of its social commentary it nails perfectly, but showing off and demonstrating so many of what's so scary about this movie. So much of what's so scary about this movie. Like, for example, its social commentary on racism. If not only racism isn't just one simple thing that happens, racism is a quadruple million layered piece that it's not just discriminated against up front and out loud. It's literally as simple as 100% fucking gaslighting a person. It's as simple as stares. It's as simple as, fucking with your mind. And
let's not go too far. Hold on.
Oh, I won't. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I'm not that type of fucking asshole that would do that, especially for like a popular movie that, like, hey, if you haven't seen this, I will not fucking do that to you. But the reason why I'm saying
just
this, though,
with
is
you.
Once again, I'm bringing up the whole thing about of like proud amounts of social commentary in this movie and like why that's so important. Where, I mentioned earlier on other horror movies that have commentated on race and society, like The Candyman and Ganja and Hess, and society critique movies like Nightbreed and such, where I'm just mind blown by how much it all works perfectly, and just for a first time movie too, how much Jordan Peele knocks it out of the park with all of everything he's talking about. And like you mentioned, Kevin, which thank you for bringing up, playing with how much what works for this horror movie of of silence, of quietness, and the amount of comedy it plays with too. I felt that was a very interesting, I don't want to say a nod, but a very interesting Wes Craven approach of playing with comedy and horror, which I very much
appreciated. You did get a little bit of a Scream thing out of that, yeah.
I never thought about that.
When Wes Craven works, he works extremely well. Or if he doesn't work, it's pretty awful. But when he does work, balancing horror and humor is extremely interesting because both feel valid in their usages. And Get Out fucking totally nails that validness of using horror and humor almost at the same time, but making sure you understand both without feeling like one's taking over the other or one's ruining the other. Which,
like you're not getting ripped out of the horror experience.
Oh, definitely.
Like
that is so amazing to nail that. Not only nail it, but nailing it on your first try. Like, oh my God, Jordan Peele. I just don't know how you did it. God damn, man.
Hats off. That is something. That is a balance.
So
that is
many
incredibly,
hats off. Like, many.
That is a balance that is incredibly hard to nail for freaking veteran directors. And
I was just going to say,
first-time director to nail that is incredible.
Seasoned pros of the genre have tried so fucking hard to get. Some just do it naturally, and some have tried for years and eons and never fucking gotten it. And somehow you did on the first go. Just, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry, it's late.
Okay. Okay, so I guess the gun has now been turned to me. So, all right.
Talk.
Okay, so what I really loved about this movie is the beginning and how well the comedy balance and horror balance kind of really played through. Like,
come to think of it, that first scene is actually a really good. It's actually a really good setup for the rest of the movie in regards to its tone and whatever. That just that first scene before the title shows up. Yeah.
You want to know? You want to know something? That guy, like the main guy we see that Chris.
Oh, I mean, do you mean the epilogue or the actual main character? Because if you mean the epilogue guy, that's a different person. My apologies. Chris is the main character of the movie.
Yeah, the main character. Yeah, like the one we focus on and the girlfriend and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, okay.
God dang! Now I forgot what I was going to say. Why do I suck so badly?
No.
Don't worry, I'll remember it. Just give it a couple seconds.
Okay, so one of the things about Chris that I loved how he kind of reminded me. He reminded me of like for those that remember this meme from like 2015, early 2016, the "Why the fuck you're lying." It looks like that guy. It seriously looks like him. If you know what I'm talking about.
I feel like the "Why you fucking lying" meme kind of perfectly describes the later half and the twist of the movie of like, holy shit, why you fucking lying?
Like that works a little bit too well.
Yeah.
Like imagine that guy in this movie instead of Chris.
And his reactions to everything that has happened to him. Why you fucking lying? Yep.
Oh my God. Stop
that's
lying.
That's just the only thing he can even stomach to say is just that. Why you fucking lying?
Oh, okay. So, one thing I really loved about this is the fact that it balanced horror and comedic relief, and that security guard brought it home. Definitely.
Technically, Rod isn't security guard. He's a TSA agent.
TSA, yeah.
TSA, yeah, right. It was one of them fucking things.
Oh yeah, TSA guard.
Kind of close, but yeah, TSA.
And I'll probably save this for the spoiler section because actually my friend's dad brought up a kind of like a point about it, but I think that'll be a spoiler, so we'll save that one. And I think another thing I really liked about the beginning is like you said, Kevin, no music at all, and just how innocent it starts out, and it doesn't like lay down thick the foreshadowing, or there's like something off. Like okay, but it kind of ratchets up as the movie progresses.
It does.
It's a
gradual rise in tension.
And yeah, that's one thing I love. It's not just like boom, right here's the horror, folks.
For the foreshadowing it does, it's kind of funny how much that foreshadowing ends up actually not being true.
Yeah.
Which is what else, once again, like, that's great foreshadowing, is when it really plays with you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, alright. So basically, that's all for my non-spoiler thoughts right here. If you care about this movie, if you care about it, go see it still in theaters.
Yeah.
Or if you're listening to this, like, in the future, go seek it out on your favorite streaming service or whatever it's on. Just
or
go
if you
seek
find
it
it
out.
in the theater still or whatever.
Yeah,
if you want to support it with, other than streaming, go pick up the video release. Go support this movie.
Please do watch Get Out. Like, this is a great movie.
Yeah,
this
in
is 100%,
the future. Yeah.
100% worth a watch, and is 100% like, I recommend this wholeheartedly to you.
Yeah, especially to like people that say like, horror kind of sucks and all that stuff. It's like, I would recommend them like this movie and It Follows, and maybe also Krampus and Sinister.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So,
okay, all right. So this is the spoiler section. So cut off here. So first thing I want to bring up about this movie, and this is a certain plot point. I will never, ever again be able to look at the song "Run Rabbit Run."
Oh,
run,
boy.
rabbits, run! I will.
Yeah,
I used to look at that
so-
song. I will never look at that song as a derpy, innocent song ever again.
That was such a fucking creepy use of that song.
What?
Usage of that song.
What the fuck,
oh.
Jordan Peele?
Yep.
Just the first thing I want to bring up straight out of the gate.
Yeah.
Reminds me of how just certain other songs did that to me, where I'm like half of the soundtrack to Werewolf in London, where now I literally can't think of songs like Blue Moon Rising, where I literally just think of that man transforming into a werewolf and killing people in England. We're like, oh god. Well, that's tainted my memories.
Yeah. Something I think my favorite part of this movie is actually the twist at the end. Actually, I guess it's a little bit of a bad form to just jump right into the twist, but damn, it is a really.
Well, we gave spoiler warnings, so hey, once again, spoiler warnings.
Yeah.
It's a really fascinating twist because this movie ends up going for an incredibly high concept twist at the end. Because the movie, for the most part, is, your regular sort of psychological horror-based movie. And the end of the movie goes for a body-jacking plot device.
Yeah,
What
and
if
that's
that
just,
Which is Jordan Peele has to have had some really good faith in his audience to do this twist, because it makes sense in context, and they really make it work within the confines of the film's logic and its overall message, and its social commentary and satire. But at the same time, it is an incredibly high concept twist.
Taking elements from hit movies such as The Stepford Wives and Body Snatchers, and somehow, even from those movies' perspectives, making the twist, using those concepts for the twist, and making them somehow even more fucking terrifying than those.
I know.
Than literal aliens and robot women wives. Like, oh, you think those are terrifying? We've got something even more fucking terrifying for you.
Oof.
And not only is it terrifying, it's fucking real. This happens in real life, and it's horrifying.
Yeah, what's worse is that it's not just, one person's brain completely taking over another person's body, but the person whose body is being jacked is still there a little bit, but they're only able to observe. It is the very definition of I have no mouth and I must scream.
Especially when you're still
horrifying.
conscious to experience the horrifying terribleness.
yeah, it's like I kind of like, when it got to the house, I noticed right away, especially with the two black caretakers. I loved how off they seemed
Oh,
like
definitely.
so off, and it was just like
Yeah, just a little bit too happy indentured servants there.
yeah.
I actually kind of predicted something with some of the family characters of like, oh, there has to be like something with all of them being in this, or like maybe half of them are in this and some of them are just hypnotized and they don't realize the horrible shit they're doing. But I actually predicted another half of the plot twist where I'm like, okay, and once again, spoilers here. We're doing spoilers here. Wow. Rose was in on it too. That fucking
Oh my
yeah.
God.
What did you?
I
I want to
kind
hear
of-
that
I
twist. Yeah.
triple advisory here for anybody who might be a little sensitive to cursing. My apologies.
We gave a warning.
I say triple advisory because I'm about to say this. That soulless fucking gaslighting bitch.
I know, right?
Well,
If
the warning's there
anybody-
for a reason.
If anybody would ever wanted to learn the term of gaslighting and what that means, just look at Rose's character. Rose's character is the fucking literal explanation of gaslighting. For someone to do
Oh my
that
God.
sort of thing to not only their boyfriend, but as a white person to do that to their black partner. To gaslight them so much to fuck with them that
And what's worse
Oh,
is that
you know
she's
what?
done this all before with all the other people.
not only
Like,
that,
oh-
she's done this a million times before, but just to do that and lull them into so much of a security mode of just like, oh, you know what, maybe you're right, I think my family might be messed up, we'll try to go, and then just like, to literally go up to that person's face and go like, you know, I can't give you the keys, like, you fucking bitch.
Yeah,
Gas-
that's when
Yeah,
it all clicked in.
Once again, you gaslighting fucking asshole. Fuck you. You are every single example of modern racism, of just fucking with people and just being like, yeah, that's so horrible, that shitty cop doing that to you. I won't take that shit. I'll fight for my own. Like, fuck you. Fuck you so hard. Fuck
Oh,
you.
God.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And seeing what the parents represent with their what they represent in racism too is so fucking horrifying that like seeing
Yeah, this
them
movie actually tackles sort of positive discrimination.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
without a doubt,
yes,
yeah.
yes. It's amazing too because I kind of wondered if like I wonder if Jordan Peele will be ballsy enough to say that like positive discrimination is okay, and like nope, he doesn't. He like if anything, he commented in saying that no, positive discrimination is fucking horrible, and you should stop that shit immediately. I'm like, yeah, bravo, thank you, fucking bravo, good
Yeah,
on you.
it's still
for saying that.
it's still singling out someone for their race, whether you like it or not. So
Oh, totally.
Oh yeah.
And
whether or not you have positive
levels.
intentions or not, it's
Oh.
still singling them out.
yes, the levels he goes to show you that positive, the quote unquote positive in that is fucking horrible. The levels he goes to is just like
But of course, he's not bashing you over the head with it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
definitely, and not making
he's showing you.
Yeah.
He's showing you like 50
Yeah,
layers.
he's not taking a metaphorical shovel and saying, "See how terrible this is," just bashing you
No,
over the head. No,
he's
he does a
showing
really
you-
good job of just
he's
making
showing
it a
you-
very underlying theme of the film.
Yeah.
He's showing you like 50 layers of it without ever actually telling you what they are. That's how
Yeah.
great he was with that.
Yeah,
But yeah, just
it's less of a sort of an Aesop or whatever, and more of just an underlying theme of the entire production.
and Rose trying to explain off her parents too was just such another form of like, yeah, that's sort of like trying to explain your parents. That's so much of another horrible form of oppression and bigotry.
It really
Just-
is. It's like,
Oh my God.
that's just how they are. I'm sorry. It's not my. It's not my fault. They're like that.
And then just
No,
hearing
no.
her parents trying to explain themselves, where I think something that I appreciate Jordan Peele for talking about and bringing on was Rose's mother and her subtle ways of her bigotry,
Oh
and
my
how
God,
much
that.
more unnerving and horrifying it was than just the father or
Her
the
mother.
brother.
Let's talk about that.
Holy shit.
Because
We're-
shit.
The brother, you can tell that guy's a fucked up weirdo racist piece of shit. You know, like he's not even
Oh, his brother. Oh, her brother. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that
her
brother was
brother.
a piece of
like
shit.
he's barely even in the closet.
He's never
with it.
done something like this before.
Oh yeah, but her mother, holy shit, there is so many different levels of how terrifying she is. Not even just about, like, the whole hypnotizing shit. That stuff is, whoa, holy fuck. But, like just...
When she did the
sink into
hypnotizing
the
thing,
floor.
like... When she did that sinking to the floor thing, I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh god, this feels wrong.
Fuck. But just, like, seeing her body language around Chris and just seeing how she reacts is on its own level terrifying.
Yeah, it's kind of she kind of has that scowling look to it or something like that.
Yeah, like the family itself is terrifying to see how they
She always has this look in her eye of something along the lines. It's like, God, I can't wait for you to get out of my life.
Yeah, definitely. Like, oh, I cannot wait to rob you of your own body. Like, I cannot wait to turn you into.
Guess what, bitch?
Yeah, and it just, like, the hypnotizing is one thing that's terrifying, but just her body language to everything is Jesus Christ, that is so unnerving. Like, that is like the body language of a fucking robot, of just someone who just does not have human emotions. And then
or just like the highest level sociopath you could possibly imagine.
God, yes, like that is Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer levels of just no, I do not operate like a normal human. I will use my whatever powers technically that I have. I will use them for evil, and I will be an abusive, horrible killer monster. Like, I will kill people, I will harm people, I will abuse the shit out of them. And I don't care. And then to go off to Rose, wow. Someone that young to not even have, like, a conscience in her. Yeah, that's, I think when showing off why young racism is so terrifying is Rose dissing herself as a character. Like, yeah, no, she was terrifying and horrible, and I think what makes her even more terrifying is how realistic she is. All the time she gaslights Chris, all of the times she purposely played dumb, or when she did stand up for Chris, just how odd it seemed, and then to find out who she really is.
Yeah, what makes Rose's character work is that due to the fact that Chris is supposed to be sort of the audience surrogate character, especially for black audiences. Because Jordan Peele actually did say that the entire point of this movie was sort of to show what this kind of situation is like to, your typical black guy.
And not only your typical black guy, you're a black person and a black character. Like, yes, we've seen a take on a black. We've seen multiple black characters in horror movies react to things, but this is a actual literal take of a black character's perspective and just how fucking horrifying this is.
But what makes Rose's character gaslighting so effective is because she actually plays not just with Chris, the audience surrogate, but with the audience themselves. Because the entire time, me being a dumbass, I just kind of didn't suspect her too much, because I'm just like, your family is really fucked up, It's like, you need to stop really standing... It's like, you need to stop kind of standing up for them so much, because, they're doing some terrible things here. But then she does the twist, and it's like, you motherfucker.
You know what
that's what makes the knife in the back or knife in the heart even harsher.
It's this movie's just command of atmosphere and how subtle everything is.
And that's what makes the knife in the heart or knife in the back even harsher, is that, like, wow, you had no qualms at all to just jam that knife into my heart, and just, wow, okay, no qualms whatsoever to do that. Oh, alright, shit. Like, this person had no issues at all gaslighting a person and fucking with them in so many other different ways, which I predicted two things with Rose, to where, like, my first guess was what actually happened, but I didn't want to believe it. Not in the sense that, like, oh, that's too stupid, more just like, I don't want to believe it because I feel like I actually have a tiny crumb of hope with the character that, like, where my other guess was that in some weird way she was also hypnotized, but the hypnotization for her was different than how just They would hypnotize a black person and just make them into a part of the help, where she was hypnotized in a way that she would actually have control of her mentality, but they would specifically lock up a certain part of her to not notice.
But if that
certain
happened,
elements
that
of her
would
family. But
if the movie had gone for that route, it kind of would have it kind of would have messed with the overall satire that they were going with.
No, totally. And that's what makes this even better, though, is the fact that, like, no, my second guess doesn't work out. And that's what makes it, once again, all the more horrifying. It was that all along she wasn't on it, and
completely willing, mind you.
Completely willing to be a 100% total horrifying sociopath. To just have no qualms whatever of robbing black people of their free will, literally
and identity.
on screen in front of your face, robbing them of their free will and identity. Black people, not just any people, black people, robbing them of their free will and identity. It's like, yeah, no, fuck you. We're gonna make you to turn into our help. We're just gonna, take everything that you are, and we'll make it even more.
Or even like their vessels too, because
no, that's what they do. And then it's pretty much just, we'll fuck with you just enough that you'll know that you're being taken over, but you can't do anything about it. So fuck you. Yeah, we don't give a shit. Yeah, we're racist. We're horrible. We're fucking monsters.
Yeah, because essentially what this was is basically the discrimination is where it really kind of plays. And I'm probably going to just sit here and since this is a spoiler section. It's basically like their reasoning for doing this is because black people are like are physically superior as far as like dexterity and all that, and what was the other one, like dexterity, physicality, and all that stuff. But they feel that white people are superior in mind and all that stuff.
No, and to take those two complexes into like, we have
amalgamating
no problems.
into like a superhuman, basically.
A superhuman, but also in just the fact that, like, we have no qualms to just take your body, even if you're in it and your mind's in it, and we have no qualms just taking you over.
It's interesting how this movie sort of showcases, like, it showcases that racism is a problem, but it specifically showcases how far racism can go if left unchecked.
And especially if, like, racism is the problem, but this isn't just some simple little, here's a way to fix it, done, bye. Like, nope, racism has trillions of layers, and they are all just as horrifying as the last one.
Yeah, I wish you could just pop a pill and just racism be gone, but no.
Like, nope.
That's not an option.
This is what systemic racism looks like. This is what the history of racism has always looked like. This is what modern racism looks like. This is what subtle racism looks like. Every single one of those layers is in this movie, and they're all equally horrifying.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And by the way, God, I feel like the dumbest fucking person for missing this. After the takeover of when Chris, and man, what a big crowd pleaser moment of a sequence where Chris is somehow able to block out his ears with the cotton he has.
With the cotton in the chair, yeah. Like,
oh God, I was
amazed that I missed that too, because
that was really cool.
That's not what I'm talking about, but just this is after that moment where like it's such a big crowd. Police are like, yes, Chris, you're free. Holy shit, yes, keep going, kill those motherfuckers. But in the sequence where Rose is just in a pig and shit, just in such a great mood. On her MacBook about to find another victim, which, god damn it. Wow, she has no problems even after just killing her current boyfriend. She's already going into another one. She's reading on her MacBook. She has some music playing on her earbuds. And, oh my god. Once again, god damn you, Jordan Peele. I am such a fucking idiot for not getting this. I am so angry at myself, too. What is Rose technically? She's a killer. She's eating dry cereal. She's eating dry Fruit Loops. She's drinking her milk, a glass of milk, with a black straw. And what is she technically? She's a killer eating cereal. Do you get it?
Yeah.
She's a
serial killer.
And the fact that she's drinking out of a black straw, like, oh my god damn it, Jordan
God,
Peele.
I'm an idiot too. I didn't know. Oh.
When I didn't get it at first, I was like, I kind of get it, but I don't know if I'm getting all the right parts. And then to put it all together, I'm like, oh my god, that blew my mind. Holy shit.
And it's actually kind of funny when you just a little bit.
Oh no, it is. It's fucking hilarious. It's like, yeah,
it's a very fascinating but a little bit creepy visual gag.
Oh, it is a terrifying visual gag. Like, yeah, she is a serial killer eating dry cereal with milk, drinking out of a black straw, which, you know, she's on her MacBook.
But it works.
Oh, no, that's what makes it even more better, is that
it's a weird way to eat cereal, too. I'm like...
I've known plenty of people who eat dry cereal.
That's how it works so well, because it draws attention.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, I'm supposed to eat cereal this way. Something's wrong here.
And what does she have the cereal with? A glass of milk. Not the bowl, not in a bowl with milk in it and the cereal. No, she has a glass of milk and eats the dry cereal. And for God's sakes, one of the other fucking wonderful visual puns in this, come on, white milk with a black straw. Come on, I'll say it again. White milk with a, say it with me here, a black straw. Oh my, holy Jesus. Damn you, Jordan Peele. You couldn't have just left me be with all these mind fucks, but to drop the visual pun of visual puns. Holy shit. Serial what? What?
I love how broken you are over this.
Okay.
It actually took me a legitimate while to understand it all, and then when I did, I'm like, holy shit. I don't even
After that, it's like, I need to lay down.
I need to lay down for a long while and just comprehend everything, because holy shit. That was like 5 different puns at once, and they were all fucking brilliant. Bravo. Just bravo. Give this
The reason
man...
why I'm muting my mic so much is actually because I'm sneezing like crazy over here.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Give this man like 70 awards. Holy shit. Give him 70 awards just for that visual sequence.
Jordan Peele is not a successful satirist for no good reason.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, yes.
Like, the man knows how to do this
shit.
shit.
Announced that Key and Peele was ending and that they were gonna not necessarily split up, but just go on their own little ways of doing stuff, I was like, oh, well, that sucks. And now I'm just like, well, holy shit, all right. If they're gonna do stuff like this, fuck me, all right. I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
down.
not necessarily something that Jordan Peele could have done as part of the Key and Peele duo. Like him going off on his own and doing this sort of thing. I love it.
Hey, if they're both on good terms and they're both happy with each other and they're both gonna do stuff, hey, fuck, I can't complain.
Yeah, I understand. It's just an... Yeah,
don't let me be... Oh, sorry, I was going to say, don't let me be your fucking, like, wet blanket. Please, go ahead and make more amazing things like this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
God.
Okay.
Yes.
Something else that I had a theory while I was seeing the film, I actually thought the brother was actually kind of hypnotized, too.
No, he's just batshit.
Yeah.
You know, like, I expected maybe, like, the brother and Rose are both hypnotized in their different ways.
But again, that would have sent... But again, that would have sent sort of mixed messages and kind of messed with the whole satirist element.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
And to think of how crazy his brother was, like, no, that guy was literally born just to be raised to be a neurosurgeon, and be a neurosurgeon in one of the most fucked up ways possible just to do this. Like, oh, fuck. That is not only too real, but it fucking horrifying. Like, wow.
Yeah. There are only so many ways we can say every element of this damn movie is horrifying.
Oh, no.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And horrifying in not only similar ways, but different ways. And every different and similar way is horrifying, legitimately.
Like, the more you think about every element of what
terrifying.
happened, the more you think of everything about what happens in Get Out, like just the worse everything becomes.
The fact that
This is fridge horror, the movie.
this society is very much far away from other society or modern society too is horrifying. Like, Jesus, if that person was going to try to escape, that would be a long run back to civilization. Like, wow, that is scary.
Yeah, thank God Rod showed up. Speaking of which, what's Rod's little thing? Because you said like there's a play on words with a Rod's name or something.
Oh, well, the whole the name Rod actually has a meaning to it where let me just double check here because I think I have it up on my notes, but I may not. The meaning.
Take your time. We're in no hurry.
Oh, thank you. But Rod by itself is actually does have a an actual meaning behind it. Where for the usage of this movie specifically, Rod is a take on the character, or not a character, but of the meaning of like I can't remember the exact specific name of it, but it's like a stream of hope or a stream of light, and that's kind of amazing considering how his entrance comes in at the very final end of the movie and what he does, which that whole meaning of a beacon of light, like a beacon of light, all right, a beacon of the TSA light to come and fucking destroy this whole fucking act.
You know, when the police siren, when the police show, when you saw the police lights,
such horrible shows, like no, this can't, no, fuck, no, and then
I thought it was going to go that route. I was like, oh, okay.
Rod comes out and it's like, oh, thank God, woo.
And then like I saw wait TSA, I'm like and I'm like I don't know I'm like I don't know how to feel and then like I saw Rod, I'm like and then I'm like Rod pops out and looks at Chris, I'm like
I think the best line in the movie actually comes from Rod. It's like, told you not to go to the white girl's place.
Rod not only actually kind of halfway predicted this, but
I'll be right back.
Was 100% correct in his assumptions that, you know, Rose was a fucking creepy woman and a shitty person and a creepy bitch. Yeah, she was. She was all those things. And the fact that Rose literally tried to take it into like, oh, I knew you always liked me. Like, fuck you. No. You're creepy as hell. I have never had any eyes on you because you're fucking creepy and a terrible person and just horrible. Like, I very much agree. Like, yeah.
Okay, one thing I wanted to bring up, my friend's father. I saw this with my friend's family, and one of the things that my friend's dad said was like the TSA thing, the TSA agent. He thought that that Jordan Peele was like kind of just taking the piss on the TSA in general. I mean, that was his thoughts, not mine.
Possibly, I don't know. Maybe I don't think so.
Nah, I think it's more just kind of using that kind of take on power and using it for a sense of just like. Using it more for a sense of not so much hope, but that unexpected sense of helping, or not helping, but just like, that sort of sense of just what that can do to help somebody in a sense. Not so much hope, but more just like what this could do to help, what this could do.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's necessarily taking the piss out of TSAs or anything. It's just it just so happens that the savior character as well as the comic relief happens to be TSA.
Oh, definitely. I think it's more of just a coincidence in a sense, and like I think calling that out as Jordan Peele taking a piss on the TSA is, I don't know, a little too easy. It's a little too easy to jump on. And
something Jordan Peele also commented on is that Rod actually looking this stuff up and kind of talking with Chris through everything is kind of the same thing that a lot of horror fans do when they watch these sorts of movies. They try to figure things out as they go along. And he kind of created Rod as another audience surrogate as that person who tries to figure the movie out as he goes along.
And probably one of the most innovative, kind of surrogate characters of horror history. Of like, yeah, there have been people who know horror, but someone to not only guess this much correctly into horror, but openly point out just how fucking horrifying certain characters are in this too is like phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, that's really as far as I have to say as far as...
Though, oddly enough, the one thing I really have to give credit to with... another thing I have to give credit to with Get Out, is, in the case of its score, is how unsettling that score is. And that's, oddly enough, that's actually the one point I will kind of give it credit for, in that it actually did give me very good Candyman vibes, in that I think where both Philip Glass and Jordan Peele they both knew how to make a good, solid, simple, creepy score, and they knew what worked to make it creepy. They didn't try to go for some annoying, over-exaggerated screamo thing, or jump scare chords or any of that bullshit. No, they found something that worked and what sounded creepy, and they played with it, and they worked with it, and they really pounded out what makes that particular piece of music scary or creepy or unsettling, and they worked with it, and they put it in their movies. Where, well, technically Philip Glass wasn't the director of the Candyman or anything that way, but his job as a composer, and Jordan Peele's job as the director, and kind of seeing what everyone else in the staff is doing, both of them they found what actually sounded unsettling and creepy, worked with it, and just found the best usages and the best points to use those creepy pieces of music. Where the Candyman, which somewhat not really ironically, but coincidentally enough, has its sort of commentary on race and horror and race in general, and classism and poverty. What worked for the Candyman in its score was its simple, effective, and very straightforward gothic score of, some of the best usages of organ in horror history, maybe ever. I know it's a very controversial statement in the case of horror nerds, so if any horror nerds are offended by that, come at me. I'm going to say it again. Probably some of the best usages of organ in horror. Like, man, Philip Glass, just, nailing it out of the park there. Where what makes Get Out terrifying with its musical score is just that I'm quoting a little bit of the Wikipedia article, not that so much that I don't have my own opinion on this, but it's more just that, like, I want to give everyone a sort of direct view of what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
Okay. Michael Abels composed the film score, for which Peele wanted to have a quote-unquote distinctly black voices and black musical references. This proved to be a challenge, as Peele found that African-American music typically has what termed as at very least a glimmer of hope to it. At the same time, Peele also wanted to avoid having a voodoo motive, which, hey, once again, fucking huge props to Peele for not, resorting to stereotypes or not resorting
absolutely.
Resorting to annoying...
Because it's so easy to resort to stereotypes in these sorts of things. Like, great job dodging that.
And,
like, even if you don't even if you're intending to dodge them, it's very easy to just kind of fall into it. Like,
definitely. And the fact that
the craftsmanship in this movie, God.
And the fact that they didn't want to fall into those motifs of such, awful cliches in African history like voodoo. But he wanted to avoid having a voodoo motif. The final score, and this is what my sort of point is leading into between those two, when I'm comparing these two things to the two scores of two separate movies.
Yeah.
The final score features Swahili voices as well as a blues influence, where in the opening title crawl of Get Out, with the opening like title of Get Out, cast. There's
against the trees going by.
Yeah, that blue kind of that sort of blue tinted shot of the trees. There's that perfect creepy score going of this sort of row of Swahili voices amongst this sort of just really off-sounding musical score, and just both usages of movies about commentaries of race in a horror setting. I'm so amazed at how well that worked out, not only for the early movie in question, The Candyman, but this movie that we're talking about, Get Out. Just, man, once again, to get so many things right in your first horror movie, but to get something as easy as fuck up as the musical score, that is just so impressive. Sorry, I know my point is a little long-winded, but just, the effectiveness of a good horror movie score, it means so much more than just stupid jump scare chords or
it really does.
Some stupid little thing. Like, when you do have a good horror movie musical score, it goes so much further than that.
And it can. A good score can really elevate.
Oh, definitely.
The entire artistry of a film, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and I'm using artistry, and I'm using artistry in the sense of just how consistent it can be, and just what it can do for a viewer on a like just on an overall atmospheric level. A good musical score can do so much to help a movie.
Oh, totally.
And especially in horror, where in horror movies you really need that command of atmosphere. And again, Get Out just does such a magnificent job there.
Also, in the case of horror, a score is such an easy thing to fuck up. And the fact that, like, once again, another phenomenal thing to Get Out.
Again, you can just so easily fall into stereotype.
Yep.
With your horror scores.
Jordan Peele was so specific and so careful to not fuck any of that up for this horror movie. Once again, goddamn, sir. Wow.
Yeah.
The mountains and mountains of talent in this man. I cannot wait to see just what he's gonna do. I don't even want to know. That's it.
Just give it to me right now.
Just do it.
Well, it's not so much give it to me right now, but just where some people may want to know, I don't. I just want to go in and just, all right, Jordan Peele, just lay it on me. Just fucking
just do it.
Just wrecking ball me.
Do it.
Wreck my shit.
No. What I was gonna say is just fucking ram me in the face with a fucking wrecking ball. I'm ready.
I can't. No.
Okay. So
maybe he'll do that. A movie will just be about Miley Cyrus on a wrecking ball destroying everything, and like, fuck. I'll
okay. So final thoughts, because we've been running for a while.
Oh god.
We have.
Well, that's how you know it's a sign of a good movie, is when we're talking for just hours on end, like, holy shit, go see this, it's so amazing.
Yeah, I love it when we have discussions about these kind of things.
And Kyle, you brought up a hell of a lot of great points here, but
thank you so much. Oh my god, Senpai noticed me. Thank you so much. All the Senpais noticed me. You are all too amazing. Thank you.
But Get Out is a really, I feel it's kind of a one-of-a-kind movie.
It really is.
This is a very uniquely its own film. And I recommend it just on the fact that it is just so damn unique. Like, even setting aside the phenomenal artistry, excellent command of atmosphere, wonderful acting, biting social commentary.
Oh, God. If there's anything that might be the strongest element of this movie, it is the social commentary. Like, it's biting.
Absolutely.
It is grabbing you by the hand and squeezing you as hard as you can, but not beating you over the head with it. Just like, it is rare to even get
it's just very sternly, see this? Don't do that.
Like, it is rare that we have a movie with this much social commentary and it doesn't fuck up on any of it.
I know. God.
Nonetheless, a horror movie, but a movie. Like, oh my god.
But yeah, absolutely go and watch Get Out. If you can see it in a theater, absolutely watch it in a theater. Like, that is a great experience. just the immersion factor alone is worth it.
Oh
Um,
yeah, without a doubt.
And if for some reason you can't, don't worry about it. Just go check it out in video, check it out on
Yeah,
streaming, and
like
as
Redbox, like if you're not terribly certain if you're gonna want to buy it, then Redbox it, and if you
Yes.
like it, buy it.
and if the other methods don't work,
or if
you
it-
can try streaming. And
Oh yeah,
this might sound weird because I think for a lot of people when they do this, it tends to be with quote unquote bad movies where everyone wants to laugh at this. But if you can, please show this to other people because I think this is a movie you need to share because this is a movie where
Absolutely.
everyone needs to experience and just get their own view of it and just understand it and just get that mouthful of that.
yeah. This
I can't even say a spoonful. Get that mouthful
mouthful, yeah.
of social
movie just-
commentary.
Yeah, this
It's-
movie just has so much to going again with the food analogy. This movie just has so much to chew on
Oh, definitely.
in regards to its satire and all that. Like, there's just so much to talk about with this movie. Like, different people can actually go in and kind of get like, sort of see different things in it. I think, like it's very much a movie that people can kind of get a unique perspective on, depending on who's watching, and you can kind of compare and contrast between that. I really like a movie that can do that, while also very definitively having a strong moral center of, you know, just sort of tackling these issues of racism from, you know, the gaslighting elements to the positive discrimination and everything in between. Like, I really enjoy the fact that this movie has so much to offer in regards to just talking about a movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Like this is an incredibly deep film.
There was
My final comment is, if you can, of course, by any means necessary, if you're not a fan of even if you're not a fan of the genre,
Legal means? Legal means?
oh yeah, of course, legal, yes, please, of course, legal means, you know, buy it, rent it,
Please support Jordan Peele.
support it,
Like,
yes,
damn.
support Jordan Peele, support the staff that made this, support the actors that made this, but of course, just buy it, see it in theaters. You can't do any of those, rent it legally. Just whatever way you can, see it legally and support this. But also, of course, even if you may not be a quote-unquote fan of the genre, or you may worry that it might be too scary, just fuck all of those odds you might have or worries and just watch it. It's just, there's so much to take in about this movie that is so amazing, and none of it's complicated. None of it's whatever. None of it is pretentious. None of that bullshit. It's just a fucking phenomenal piece of solid film work. And
Yeah, that's another thing.
modern...
It has so many levels to it, but it's amazingly straightforward.
Oh, definitely. It is extremely straightforward. And dare I say it, a modern horror masterpiece.
I can agree with that, yeah.
A well-deserved modern horror masterpiece. And it's... I'm so happy I'm so happy that I lived in this time of horror where, you know, and in parts of the 90s were such a horrible dry spell in horror, and the 2000s were overwrought with so many bad things, where now
Jesus fuck.
it's another rebirth of horror in one of the best ways possible. And the fact that we're getting all of these amazing horror movies, it's just... I'm not even saying... I'm not even saying
is
this...
now great again.
I'm not even saying this as a fan of horror. I'm just saying this as a fan of movies. I'm so happy about that. Like, that makes me so just joyful that, like, a genre gets another chance to be great, and it is.
You singled out the early 2000s. Come to think of it, a lot of creatives during the early 2000s just kind of decided to take their stupid pills for some reason.
Oh
Either
yeah,
take their stupid
yeah.
pills or try something else, or just, I don't know, not do stuff in America, because the one least dark thing about the horror movie genre in the case of the 2000s, in the early to mid 2000s, was that while American horror may have been in an unfortunate slump of annoying remakes,
Fucking
gore
Japanese
fests,
horror.
yeah, Japanese
horror movies.
horror remakes, Japanese horror remakes, gore fest, was that European horror took a massive, massive quality upgrade, and I think that's where a lot of horror fans went to, and I can't really blame them, because, you know, European horror was actually really killing it back then.
Especially Italian horror.
Oh, definitely. Well, I'm talking modern, not just like old 70s Dario Argento stuff, but like 2000s. But like French horror had a really big boom in the 2000s. English horror had a really big boom in the 2000s. Spanish horror had a really big boom in the 2000s. So much of parts of Europe had big booms in horror in the 2000s. But in the case of just, wrapping up my thoughts to Get Out, phenomenal movie. Please go see this legally and support Jordan Peele, support the cast and crew who made this. Support this level of well thought out social commentary, and support this just in general for more original content in Hollywood. Everyone cries about that, and to some extent I get a little irritated because I see people cry about that and then they'll support something else that isn't original but make a bullshit excuse after. I'm like, why either you want it this way or that or nothing, because you can't have it both ways and still complain about it and still complain about the fucking industry.
I could comment all day about the lack of creativity in Hollywood, but I'm still going to go watch Power Rangers next week.
Well, it's Power Rangers, dude. Come on.
And to a degree, that's totally fine, but I'm just still saying of, complaining about other things, but still supporting it. Where Get Out is 100% originality, and if you want more originality, support movies like Get Out and Get Out. Support them if you want more originality. You will get it if you do support stuff like this.
So what you're saying is people should get out to see Get Out.
Oh!
Yeah!
I'm sorry, but, I just have to do this for that. Sorry, I apologize, everyone. I'm not trying to delay this even more, but I have to cue this up just because, damn it, Kevin, you nailed it so well with this. Oh, beautiful.
Thanks.
I win.
But to my final word of this, Get Out is a masterpiece, a phenomenal movie. Go see it. I can't even give it a rating like a 10 out of 10 or a 5. It's beyond all of that. This is just a fucking fantastic movie. Please, if you take anything from me, from tonight, from this podcast, just go see it legally. Please go support it. And with that, that's me on Get Out.
Yeah, my thoughts, probably in a nutshell. This is a really great horror movie. I wouldn't say it's a great horror movie. It's a great movie in general, and I think
definitely.
2017 is going to be an interesting year for movies in general. And but yeah. Other than that, I can't give this a rating. Basically, we're gonna do this the Roger Ebert way, back when he had a television show. Go see it.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs way the hell up.
Yeah, because I think later, when it was Ebert and Roper, it was either go see it, rent it, or don't see it.
Technically, both through Siskel and Ebert and Roper, they still kept in the thumbs up. Even through Ebert and Roper.
Okay.
Yep. They never let go of the thumbs up thing, even to past Ebert hosting when he was going through his bouts with cancer, and it was Richard Roper and guest stars. They still kept in thumbs up.
Yeah,
but before we go, what movies are you looking forward to seeing?
Who wants
this year?
I was just gonna say, who do you exactly want to go first?
How about Kevin?
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna have Kyle go first because I gotta.
Okay, yeah, go.
Well, oddly enough, for how much praise I'm giving a lot of modern movies, I'm actually kind of finding 2017 just to be a little bland for my taste, and I'm just a teensy bit worried, but there are a few movies I'm looking forward to. Well, it's some of the indie movies and Oscar winners that I've already seen from last year, and some of my favorites, which, to give my official favorite movies of 2016, it literally is as simple as number 1, Moonlight. I'm talking about a movie that actually deserved the Best Picture award, Oscar for that. Number 2, Closet Monster, a wonderful local Canadian movie and is totally worth your time, Closet Monster. And number 3, The Witch. I cannot say enough good things about The Witch, but for what's coming up, I'm pretty interested in checking out. I want to see Trainspotting 2. That's been it's taken forever to come over here, but I'm super excited for Trainspotting 2. I really dig the first Trainspotting, excuse me, and I'm super excited to see what Trainspotting 2 is going to bring in. I've seen the trailers. It looks really neat, and it looks much better than what a Trainspotting sequel should even bring in. So I'm very much excited.
Trainspotting, interesting.
Yes, Trainspotting 2. I'm very excited to see what they're going to try to do. I've seen a couple of trailers for some other movies coming up. I want to see that new indie movie with starring and I think directed by what's his fucking name? This stand-up comedian. Of course I forget it when I'm trying to remember, but this movie called Dean. I saw a trailer for it and it looked really nice and humble and very charming, and I'm extremely excited to check it out. Dimitri Martin, that's who it is.
Yeah, Dimitri Martin.
Starring Dimitri Martin. It's this comedic drama called Dean that I saw a trailer for it. I'm like, this actually looks kind of nice. I'll check it out when it comes out. I'm actually really eager to do so. There's a couple of screenings that are finally going to be happening like my screening of, hopefully my screening of Your Name. I am extremely excited to see that movie.
Oh God, I hope.
Yes,
yes. I pray to God that there's going to be a showing of that near me, because God.
Same. After hearing
Call your theater, dude.
After hearing so much praise for that movie, I'm just like, all right, Madoka Shinkai, show me what you got. I'm eager to give you a chance.
Apparently.
So.
Speaking of anime movies, Gyube.
Yeah.
In April, they're going to be doing dubbed theater showings for Ordinal Scale. So I'm hoping my theater adds some showings just so I can.
Here's the problem. We'll actually dive into this when I actually record with Saradin later on today. But Saradin hates the shit out of the Sword Art Online dub.
No.
Hell. I'm still gonna go watch it.
Yeah. So here's the thing: he just doesn't think that. I forget who plays Kirito. I think it's Bryce
Papenbrook.
Yep. He doesn't like Bryce Papenbrook as Kirito.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But to continue on my thing of upcoming movies I'm excited for some that are coming up very soon, I cannot even begin to describe how fucking excited I am for The Fate of the Furious, because Fast and the Furious Parts 7, 6, and 5 were out of nowhere fantastic movies. And Fate of the Furious, from the trailers I've seen, I am super excited to see what's going to happen. I could just watch that scene of that gigantic wrecking ball crashing into those cars on loop forever. Just that entire sequence of the wrecking ball about to fly down and smash into those 4 cars, and with the trailer sinking to Vin Diesel about to say holy shit, and then it cuts and like the wrecking ball just demolishes those cars. I could watch it on loop for days. I am so excited for The Fate of the Furious. Love those movies, and I can't wait. I'm so excited. I know a lot of people are really hyped for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Good on them. I might check it out. I'm not really feeling it, but to those who are, good on you. Hope you enjoy it. I hope it is actually good and not terrible, and et cetera, et cetera. Let's see what else. I know people are excited for the Wonder Woman movie. I wish the best on it. I might see it,
don't
maybe.
know.
Yeah, no, I can't blame you. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Spider-Man Homecoming. I saw the trailer for it. I'm like, it looks fun.
Yeah.
It looks fun. I'll probably check it out. Let's see what else.
How worse can you do from the Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah.
For me, I like the first Amazing Spider-Man movie.
That's fine.
For me, Smurfs the Lost Village actually looks pretty decent. Like,
the fact that those are going to be straight up kind of Smurfs movies without the whole bullshit thing in New York, and like it's going to take place on the Smurfs
that
Village.
Alone makes it worth checking out.
Yeah, I'm actually
you don't have any of that bullshit going to New York and fucking up in a toy store.
No, totally.
No.
I'm surprised.
It's an actual Smurfs adventure film. Like,
totally.
Jesus fucking Christ! How long do you have to do that?
I'm surprised they're even going down that route. That's really impressive. But for other movies, Edgar Wright's new movie, Baby Driver. I've seen the trailer for it. It didn't really amaze me, but I'm still interested in checking it out. Hope the best, but I love me some Edgar Wright.
Oh yeah.
Blade Runner 2049. I was really doubtful
I forgot about
for it,
that.
and I was like, oh god, I don't know. But the trailer I've seen for it, You know what? I'll give it a chance. I have the best for it.
One movie that actually looks really fun to me is Baywatch.
It's given me
I
some,
saw the Baywatch trailer before Get Out, and I'm like, damn it, this looks fun.
I've seen a couple of trailers for the Baywatch movie. It's given me some 21 and 22 Jump Street vibes, but those are some extremely big shoes to fill, so best of luck to it.
I'm going to be giving Baywatch a look, so
totally.
just because it looks fun, and another movie that looks fun, mostly just because I grew up on these books.
Mm-hmm.
I actually mentioned this before because it's coming out the same day as Wonder Woman, the true battle between superheroes. Wonder Woman versus Captain Underpants.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
Hey, yeah, there you go.
I am absolutely going to go watch Captain Underpants.
Oh god.
Because
I forgot that. Yeah, that is actually getting a movie over here. Like, right, that's actually getting a movie.
And again, I grew up reading those books. Like, I loved the Flip-A-Rama and whatever. So, I'm gonna have fun. I think I'm gonna have fun watching that one, or at least seeing how they sort of adapt it into a CG movie. Apparently, the villain of that one's going to be the villain from the 4th book, Professor Poopy Pants. God, I love the names of these villains.
Oh God, wonderful.
Spider-Man: Homecoming. I'm extremely behind on the Marvel movies. Let's just say that. Extremely.
That's understandable.
Yeah. Okay.
No, 2017. I'm not too excited for it, but I hope the best for it, and I'm willing to give it some chances. And I hope I don't know. I just hope it follows up and really brings in some good stuff.
Yeah, just give me a minute. I'm going through this entire list of 2017 movies. Let me take a look here. Going to the October, because there's an October movie that I'm interested in seeing. Oh dear. Okay. Now, if anybody's known me for the past 3 or more years, you know that at one point I was a fan of My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. And in October, it's going to be getting a theatrical film. So I'm probably going to go see that just so I can say, like, it's going to be my last real interaction with the franchise as a fan. So it's going to be a nice little send-off for me personally as an MLP fan.
You're a brony? Get out of my podcast.
Oh shit!
Okay, that's done. I have nothing against bronies, by the way.
Don't worry about it.
I actually forgot that was even coming. I'm like, oh yeah, right, that's going to be a thing.
I didn't know that was going to be a thing.
Yeah,
I heard about it a little while back.
I'm not sure if it's going to be doing well. I mean, it's coming out the same day as Blade Runner 2, so.
Oh god.
Well, there's the child. Well, there's the kids' alternative.
There's also going to be another Saw movie, which I swear to God they were done with. So
I don't know about that one.
I wonder what plot they're gonna go with, because like even the cult plot's pretty fucking dead. Like there was the Jigsaw plot, which went on for 3 movies and then had a nice ending to it, and then there was the cult that loved Jigsaw and followed in its footsteps. That went on for a good couple sequels, and then that had an ending, and I'm just like, unless they're going to start with a new plot, I don't know where else they can go with this.
It's the 8th installment in the Saw franchise, picking up over a decade after the death of the Jigsaw Killer during the investigation of a new string of murders that fits his modus operandi.
Oh boy. Oh,
so we're going to have a new Jigsaw, yeah.
Oh god. Is it going to be cult-based? Is it going to be off of...
Apparently there's going to be a Creed 2. I need to watch Creed 1. That's on Hulu, actually.
Oh, God, Creed. Creed 1 is fucking phenomenal. I'm kind of interested to see what Creed 2 is going to do. Like, what's it going to do, exactly? I have the best for it, because I loved me some Creed. Creed was such a phenomenal movie.
Obviously, the big movie in December is going to be Star Wars, and I'd be
naturally.
I would be fucking stupid to not watch that.
I'm so fucking happy there's an actual main plot thing and not another fucking spin-off. I'm like, I just want the main plot.
I actually enjoyed Rogue One, but
Yeah, me too.
Rogue One was nice, but I don't know.
You definitely want more of the Skywalker story.
I just want the Skywalker, but I just want the main plot. Like, I want Finn and Rey back, and I
my
want
God,
Daisy
Finn
Ridley
back.
back, and she's
I
cool.
want
and
Poe
I
Dameron
want
back. Damn it!
yes, I want fucking.
I want more bro moments between
Super-
Finn and Poe. Okay.
I want
Yeah.
super likable Oscar Isaac Poe moments, and I just
I
want
hate
more.
to remind people.
Hmm?
I hate to remind y'all, but you know,
It's
going,
really late. Yeah.
It's going to be sad seeing Carrie Fisher on screen.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Sorry to be a
I
downer.
think they'll be able to handle it with grace and dignity and give her a nice send
And
off.
she's
But,
shot all her scenes for the movie, so
Yeah,
that's,
so you don't have to get too much, and we don't have to worry about
don't have
too
to
much.
worry about.
And of course, you
Don't have to
know,
worry about mocap CG Carrie Fisher.
no. Ugh.
Oh,
But of
geez.
course, too, I'm just so excited to see back in action, along with Oscar Isaac being amazing. But you know, Daisy Ridley and John Boyega being fucking awesome, and
oh, yeah. Without
of
a
course, you know, John Boyega, put that motherfucker in anything, and I'll see it, even if I'm like, nope, not going to. Where
doubt. Pacific Rim 2.
fuck you, fuck you so much. I hate you so much for just saying that. Like, no, you know what?
I
don't
can't
think-
wait for Pacific Rim 2. Holy shit. I know that's 2018, but still.
Where it's just like, no, you know what? I don't think I'm going to support Pacific Rim 2. I think I'm just kind of done. Check the news again. Oh, who joined the cast? John Boyega 2. Motherfucker! I thought it was done. And those.
You can't escape the Boyega, buddy.
This bitch angry.
I thought it was done, and they fucking pulled me back.
Yeah, woo.
G-Boon, whoa.
Bastards.
Okay,
But whew. Dang, good episode.
yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't have a chance to say what movies I was going to see.
Oh
Yeah, of
fuck,
course,
I'm
it's fine.
sorry. Go ahead.
Okay,
Just love me some movies. Hell yeah.
Here I am trying to wrap up the show, and you're over there. Actually, it's like, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, a movie I'm actually going to be seeing this Friday as of this podcast. It's like an indie documentary on stray cats in Istanbul. I'm actually seeing this.
Oh, I heard about that. Nice.
The Kedi or Kedai or
That looks so charming and just kitties.
yeah, it's like.
Kitties.
And plus, you know, it's playing at the indie theater that I should really go to more.
Yeah.
It's playing at the indie theater that I should really go to more often. If
Yes.
in my fruitless quest to get them to play anime more often.
You just keep supporting it, dude. Just keep supporting it.
Yeah, it's like, you know, basically, I've kind of had a huge grudge with this theater. It's the Neon, by the way, in Dayton, Ohio. If you ever,
Hashtag call out.
yeah, I'm calling you out. And you know what's really funny?
Excuse
The manager of that theater was actually my teacher.
Oh,
was my film teacher. Like, he pretty much taught me how to edit and all that stuff.
well, hot damn.
I'm sorry, no offense to you, but I would think it would almost be hilarious to see, like, if he heard this, like, this podcast and heard the call out.
Hey, dude, I don't mean the ill will, man. It's just like if he did listen, like, I kind of doubt it. I mean, I don't put my real
Throw
name.
your hands up. I surrender.
But anyway, you know, but yeah, the Neon. It's like it's a nice theater, but you know, it's a little small, little quaint. It's like only like a 2 theater. It's like a 2-plex kind of thing. But the problem with that is like with it being a 2-plex, they have to be really, really discriminate. And unfortunately, I'm not sure if it's because of the Neon audience being nothing but, you know, excuse me for saying this, like hipsters and old people.
Oh god.
You know,
Oh boy.
You know, like hipsters and old people, or just like people that just don't really care, or there's not a big anime fan.
On a scale of 1 to horn-rimmed glasses and fedora, how hipster?
Oh god. Corn ranch, oh, God.
vanilla rips, pretty much vanilla hipsters, basically.
Oh, okay.
Lol.
Yeah, though I have seen, like, you know, a few, like, you know, the stereotypical gluten-free and the stereotypical. I have seen some of those rimmed glasses too.
Oh god.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay,
nope.
but
Yeah, that's the problem with this theater. It's like, it's a twoplex, and unfortunately, and yeah, I just don't know if the anime population here either doesn't give a shit about going to the theater to support, anime in theaters, or or it's mainly just, the anime crowd around here only cares about stuff that is only Dragon Ball Z, Attack on Titan, Death Note, and all that stuff.
You just gotta have faith.
Or
Jaeger.
yeah, but it's like or any of the or anything that is not the big three, and I'm like probably
the big shonen thing.
Or for and basically like me and Saradin, we're basically, I feel like, are we kind of just outliers? Or that's and also like the big three and Miyazaki and all that stuff. So,
Oh, of course.
yeah, or Ghibli, because actually what is kind of cool, they are going to get Red Turtle, but that's like a TBD. But
I'm so
to be
jealous. I
determined.
can't wait for my theater to get
Yeah.
Red Turtle.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm kind of rambling on. But anyway, going to be seeing Kedai or Kedi, not sure how you pronounce it, but
Kitty, I think.
going to be seeing that. Going to be seeing Power Rangers because I'm a nerdy ass millennial because I need to see. So,
Yeah, I'm a little too
like-
eager for that movie. Like, I don't know, I saw that trailer, I'm like, this is a weird little fucking thing, and I'm kind of interested to see this, like, in my opinion, just this odd as fuck mix of The Breakfast Club and Chronicle. I'm like, you know
this
what?
movie-
This
all
actually doesn't look that bad.
Yeah, all the Power Rangers movie needs to do for me is be entertaining.
Oh, totally.
and,
It's
Even if it doesn't really get the like, it doesn't necessarily need to be good. It needs to be fun. It needs to be entertaining.
oh, totally. And
Because
it's weird
that's the big thing about Power Rangers. Ultimately, the best thing about Power Rangers is that it's so damn entertaining.
yeah, make
and it's
it good.
weird for all the flack I've heard so much about with like the costumes and like the designs of the Power Rangers were like,
The costumes look fine. Alpha does not look that bad in motion. Zordon's
that's the
okay. Rita looks
that's
great.
that's the thing. I actually like a lot of the costumes, especially the Ranger suits. They look cool and they remind me of the Guyver, and I love that. Like,
Oh,
God.
that is. I do
What
get a
if-
little bit of a Guyver.
what if
Yeah.
we got a less gory version of the Guyver? Because if it was straight up like the Guyver, it would be violent and gory as fuck.
Oh God.
Oh yeah,
Like Guy Dark Hero sort of thing.
Like
yeah.
the Guyver is all just straight up like, yo, I'll fight a monster and then I will literally rip them fucking apart in a
Like
gory
Guyver is
mess.
serious body horror shit. So
Yep.
oh yeah, and some other movies I'm going to be seeing this year. In April, I finally got the days off for approved for this.
Hmm?
Going to be seeing Your Name and Kizumonogatari 3, the final Kizumonogatari, and we are going to be doing show discussions on both of these movies. I'm not sure I'm going to schedule those, but
for a second, I thought you said we were doing a show discussion on Boku no Pico, and I'm like, hold on, bitch. No.
how did you get Boku no Pico out of Your
you
Name
said
and Kizu?
and I'm like, wait, huh?
No, God.
God, really? Come on, we're not that
I'm
desperate.
tired. Okay. it's
We are all a
almost
little
1 a.m.
tired and a little kooky.
But
It's almost 1 a.m. and I've been watching Power Rangers all day. What's your excuse?
Oh God, no.
I've been working all day like a freaking normie. So
Fair enough.
Well, I've been working on the railroad all the live long fucking day.
Okay.
So.
Anyway, Your Name and Kizumonogatari 3.
Yeah.
Of course, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, because of course, and also,
Double E.
this is basically just me going in saying fuck it. I'm gonna see the new Alien Covenant. Why not?
Woo! Please tell me if it's good.
Yeah.
Same here. Please let me know.
Yeah, and other than that, that's about it. I mean, this and maybe sometime next week, I may try to see Kong Skull Island because I know my friend has been dying to see that because he's a big giant monster fan.
Yeah, I've heard
giant
Kong's
monster,
pretty fun.
kaiju.
I was just gonna say, I've heard some pretty fun things about like, hey, this is actually a pretty solid little movie. I'm like, okay, kick ass.
Like,
No.
of course, you have the critics saying it's like it has problems, like the characters and whatever. I'm sorry, we're here to see Kong kick ass. Does Kong kick ass? Yes, then we're good.
Yeah, we're
Well,
not here
you
for the
say that,
story.
but even then, it's still got like a pretty decently high score from most critics, and like for what it is, like its
Yeah.
score on stuff like Rotten Tomatoes is pretty high, and most critics are like, yeah, hey, this is actually pretty damn decent. Yo,
But yeah. But yeah, that's the show, everyone. This was a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but yeah. So before we go, Chibi, as always, where can they find you?
thank you for asking, and thank you so much for having me on the show. But you can find me on Twitter at ChibiUFO, where you can find my musings about movies, anime, animation, TV, and my old, odd, random, bizarre musings on old video games and other bullshit like that. You may also find certain other ramblings on Tumblr at ChibiUFO or Canadian UFO. And that's pretty much it for you. You can find me. But yeah, if you find any of those, maybe drop a line. And don't be too weirded out by my random other musings and bullshit alike like that. Maybe the odd 2 in the morning post about, hey, this old Jellico game is so important and here's why.
Yeah. Yeah, this is. And as always, you can find me on Twitter at Cube the Third. That is spelled KYUUBETHE 3RD. And I don't really have a Tumblr, but I have a Tumblr, but I don't really update it as much.
I
But-
barely update mine, but I'll usually put some random crap on it.
Yeah.
It's like, here's a video,
Yeah.
here's some video game music, whatever, enjoy.
And
For me,
Kevin.
for me, as per usual, you can find me on Twitter at CCharmanderK, as per usual. I also have a Tumblr, but that's mostly just so I can reblog random shit and occasionally post memes.
Of course, the best usage of Tumblr. Because, like, what the hell?
One of my more popular recent posts was actually something where I said My Hero Academia AU, where everything's the same, but quirks are
AU.
called kinks.
Quirks are called kinks.
Wonderful.
It's gotten like 200 notes, which is nowhere close to my largest one. I think my largest one has like 3,000 or something.
You can tell you're doing it right when you get that type of attention.
Of course.
Which is beautiful. Beautiful.
And
Beautiful Joe.
I also have a YouTube
God.
account, but I mostly just use that to watch shit. I don't ever post shit there
I feel
very
people
often.
that don't really post videos, I think that's really why you use a YouTube account, is just to, like, watch all the shit and just, like, oh god, I want to
Yeah.
favorite this, I want to like this, I want to do that.
And I occasionally pop into the comment sections because comment sections are a great place to have wonderful
Meaningful,
discussions about.
intelligent discussions.
I cannot
Like,
even finish that sentence.
Yeah, like kill yourself, racial epithets, and these
Yep.
stupid comments down here, like saying I don't like black people. LOL.
LOL.
Shout
Did
out
someone
to shout out to Stephen George's friends on that one.
And shout out to the Steven vlog. But yes, and also your daily dosage of homophobic slurs and remarks, because you cannot go without that for at least one day.
Of course.
Oh god. But of course, yes, thank you so much for having me on. I had a total blast, as always, on these shows, and I had a total blast on this episode. I love coming back to it. Yes, go see Get Out. What a phenomenal movie, and oh my god, thank you all so much for listening. We are all tired and pretty delirious, and we all love you, but holy shit, we're so tired, and we're probably gonna pass out really soon.
Hey, I can go for hours.
Oh dear God, no! Go to bed, Kevin. Holy shit!
Yeah,
No.
yeah, no.
Don't even. No.
Don't even go
Just
there.
go
Do
to bed.
not go there.
Just
Do
Like-
not.
go to bed because oh God, because like
I'm probably
if
going to
you-
just watch more Power Rangers and then crash.
what if you go on for several more hours and it'll be like 40 hours and like I haven't slept, and then you'll start crawling on the ceiling and your eyelids won't
Okay, I think we get the point.
Oh god, hell, I'm so tired. Oh god.
All right. Well,
Okay. And even though we get shunted to the wee hours of the early morning every time we say it, this is Otaku Midnight. Thank you for tuning in.
Goodbye, everybody.